Sports West, the heart of the fan.
On this Memorial Day, May 29, 2023, we have Angels baseball for you on the south side of Chicago, bringing you Angels Live right here on Bally Sports West. From Guaranteed Rate Field, the Angels kicking off a three-game series versus the White Sox before they take on the Astros for 4. Here's what we have for you coming up. Breaking down the series opener, what it's going to take. Griffin coming off best start in some time. He toes the rubber for your Halos. And on this Memorial Day, honoring those Warriors among us. And we welcome you inside our Bally Sports Studios alongside the great Bobby Valentine. I'm Patrick O'Neill. First, we just want to say thanks for all of you that serve. And, of course, we remember all of those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Much more on Memorial Day throughout the entire broadcast. So, Bobby, but let me start with what you saw versus the Angels versus the Marlins. They went into that series. They had a day off. They had won 4 in a row, seemingly hot, but they got swept by Miami, who seemingly pretty good team, it turns out.
Yeah, Miami has really good pitching, and they pitched well in that last series and kept the bats kind of in the closet, but the starting pitching was really good. This is a team that's still in progress, you know, now with Matt Moore being out and a new bullpen forming out there. It's going to be fun to watch. And Chicago is a team that struggled, but I think they struggled mainly because they didn't have the guy at the end of the game who came back today.
Yeah, we'll have some information on that upcoming, and you're right, maybe we will see Ben Joyce make his big league debut here tonight in Chicago. Okay, so let's go back, though, to yesterday and Patrick Sandoval. I'd love your take on how you thought he looked in those 6 innings.
Oh, I thought he looked fine. You know, threw his fastball more, threw a changeup down the middle that got hit, and they scored a run, but, you know, he was busting it inside. His changeup is such a great pitch. You see it there, and he can do anything he wants after they hit the changeup, even catch the ball behind the back. And then if they have a bad swing at a changeup, he could also do a lot of things because he's very athletic. He's very competitive. And here on the bunt, yeah, he's very athletic. He's very competitive. Diving catch. Way to go, Patrick. I thought those 6 innings were as fine as he's thrown this year, and something he could add on to.
You said, way to go, Patrick, and I got a little extra enthusiasm thing, and then I realized, no, it was for Sandoval. Here's what Patrick Sandoval had to say after the start yesterday at the Big A.
Sandy, I know you weren't 100% your last time out. Definitely looked more like yourself. What do you take away from this one?
You know, getting through 6, 2 runs, giving my team a chance to win. That's all I really care about. Stuff will come.
The backhanded grab in the first, did that surprise you?
Yeah, I thought it was hit a lot harder. I felt like I was waiting a lot longer for it to hit my glove, and then, yeah, just obviously I couldn't see it, so I was kind of surprised when I felt it hit my glove.
So you said you still don't feel like your stuff's been there. I mean, how long has it kind of been the whole season, or has there been the last?
Yeah, if you were to just compare my stuff from last year, it's down a little bit, and there's no, like, hiding it. Can't hide behind it. Just have to compete with what I have, and I think I do a pretty good job of that.
We would agree. Definitely did a good job competing. You heard Erica Weston in there with those questions. We'll catch up with Erica next segment. She has an interview with Gio Urshela upcoming. But Patrick was very honest about how his stuff is not the same as it was yesterday. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that, you know, during a season when you have 28 to 30 starts, you're not going to be perfect every time out. And what you need to do is compete with what you have on that given day. That's exactly what Sandoval did.
All right, you know you're going to get his very, very best effort each time he takes the hill. He had a little extra rest this time. He was battling with some food poisoning, but hopefully next time out, Patrick will get the win. When you look at the starters as a whole on the homestand, I know they went 5-4, but look at these numbers. Innings per start, you know, almost a complete 6. The ERA was 3rd in baseball. And the slugging percentage against first, and they only allowed 2 home runs, tied first.
Yeah, coming into this series, you knew the starting pitching was much better than the numbers showed, and they were competing every time out. Now the numbers are starting to look better because obviously they're pitching better. So it's time for the bullpen to get it together so that those starters don't think they have to go 7 and 8 innings. They could go that 5 1/3 like they were, that 6 1/3, and hand the ball off. It's going to be interesting to see how Phil puts this bullpen together with 3 ex-Pandas out there, all hard throwers, all young right-handers who have to play a big part in the bullpen.
I think it was Ken French who coined the Panda Pen. He did that yesterday, so I certainly don't want to steal that one from Frenchie, but well done, certainly. So Griffin Canning is going to toe the rubber. This guy can, before the season's done, he can end up being like a solid middle-of-the-rotation arm for the Halos.
Yeah, he really reminds me a lot of a guy named Rick Reed that kind of led a team of mine in the New York Mets World Series. He's a right-hander with guts. He likes to throw his fastball. There you see his curveball, which I hope he uses more today. I think it's a real quality pitch, but he competes. He's competed all his life, you know, winning a state championship in high school, being a star at UCLA, and then overcoming the injury and stepping back on the mound after not pitching at all, getting in a big league game and being very competitive, throwing over 100 pitches first time out. He's a guy you can count on, I think, every time out to give you quality.
Oh, that's excellent to hear. I love how calm Griffin Canning is. He seems unfazed, and he just has that certain quality that he knows that he belongs at the big league level. Now, you mentioned earlier that the White Sox getting some help at the back end of their bullpen, and without a doubt, it's a big news, you know, not just for the White Sox, but for baseball. Liam Hendriks is returning. He was suffering from cancer, diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. January 9th, started his treatment April 5th. Final round of chemo on the 20th of April, says he's in remission, which is incredible news. Then on the 5th, just a couple of weeks later, a rehab assignment in the minors. And now today, we're talking Aussie strong right here. Perth, Australia, Liam Hendriks rejoins the White Sox. And Bobby, you've been around this game for so long. This is just one of those stories that really, it pulls at the heartstrings in a really good way.
Yeah, beating cancer is a wonderful thing. As Phil said, I hope he stays out 3 games. He could have played cricket. He could have played Australian rules football like his father did, but instead he chose baseball. And he really was the closer, the guy who shut the door day in, day out for the Sox. They missed him, and hopefully they'll miss him again for these 3 games that we're playing him, and he picks it up after we leave.
You see that Chicago wearing their City Connect unis, those Southsider uniforms. Those are pretty sweet. So moments ago, it was Erica Weston had a chance to speak to Phil Neff.
Some things are bigger than baseball. Hendriks' story is certainly one of them, even though he's not on your side. Just your thought about him coming back.
Yeah, I actually made it a point to go over and find him earlier. Just met him a couple times, just being around the baseball field a little bit. Really, first time I got to talk to him was we played the game in Iowa. We actually were out in the cornfields before we got in here, but just wanted to reach out to him, and you know, whether it's from the organization, myself, that it's great to see him back. I know he's been through a lot, and wish him luck in a few days.
Just like you would have said, certainly as manager. Listen, back-to-back All-Stars for Hendriks in 3 of the last 4 years. We're talking 38, 37 saves the last couple of seasons. What makes him so good back there? Yeah, real big on the mound, great presence, very aggressive, and those 2 pitches, that fastball and the disappearing breaking ball that's really hard to hit late in the game. Well, this matchup, we mentioned Griffin Canning. It's against Michael Kopech. We'll get into what makes him so good on the hill for the White Sox. And also Erica Weston talks to Gio Urshela when we come back on this Memorial Day. So Gio Urshela, red hot homestand. That's coming up after this.
This Memorial Day, Bally Sports honors our fallen warriors.
Ever since Johnny was a little boy, there was never any doubt that he wanted to fly. His goal in life was to be a pilot. While standing in the outfield during Little League games, he would look up in the sky and tell me what kind of planes were flying overhead. As a captain in the Marine Corps, John took great pride in serving and defending our country. His passion for the Corps and for flying was only surpassed by his love for his family. Everyone who knew Johnny saw a huge smile that brought light into the world. I will forever be proud of the man he became. My hero, my son, Captain John Sachs.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. Things are heating up. Good thing this Rogue has the most standard safety features in its class. Our competitors can't say that.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
Hurry. These epic offers won't last forever.
My name's Jorge Gaviria, and this is my business, Hacienda. We bring heirloom corn products from Mexico to every kitchen. I chose my Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
To go down.
This is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
62! How about that?
Big moments, big reactions, and big interviews. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight.
Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big name guests.
Very special guests hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It is absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans
and baseball players
wake up to.
Show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
Look at how he dekes the kid right there, taking the jersey, then he gives it back. That was a great catch there by Bobby V. Angels, White Sox. The look on the kid's face is taking. You signed the jersey and you're taking it. Oh, but that what a keeper that he's going to have forever.
I want one of those.
He's going to frame that.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, you're not going to get one, Bobby. Bobby, let me ask you about Gio Urshela, because he's hitting 7th. And he had an unbelievable homestand in the series against Miami, 7 for 12. And he's spraying the baseball all over the field. A huge homer to tie the game up Saturday in the 8th inning. But you like hitting a guy, you're having some depth, and a guy like Gio Urshela in the bottom half of the lineup, would that be important to you?
Oh, of course, and then he could be on with the other guy be on the bottom of the lineup, Zach Neto, who's doing so great with his bat. Yeah, he's a guy who can hit good pitching. He can hit it all over the ballpark. I know some of the Sabres don't like the fact that he gets a lot of singles. I happen to like the fact that he gets hits against all pitchers and all pitches. He can sit on a breaking ball and hit it to right. He can turn on a fastball that's inside. He knows what he's doing at the plate, and that type of approach becomes contagious.
Yeah, he hits very, very good pitching, and that certainly has been proven second to Bo Bichette in baseball when it comes to base hits. Let's go to the south side of Chicago right now. I hear it's about 71 degrees and sunny, and Erica Weston is on the field. You spoke to Gio. First off, Erica, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your patience. It's great to have you on the show.
Great to be with you guys, Patrick. Yeah, pretty cool day today, not as far as the weather is concerned, but Liam Hendricks is just being honored on the field to my right today. But yes, let's talk a little bit about Gio Urshela, who, as you guys talk about, hits good pitching. That's what Phil Nevin told me before yesterday's game against the Marlins, because, quite frankly, they couldn't keep him off of the base pass in that series. He hit for the cycle in the last 2 games. He had a triple in the game yesterday, completing that 2-game cycle. And he just knows how to get it done. Professional at-bats. He takes good at-bats against high-leverage relievers later in games, too. So no matter who he's facing, you're still getting the same Gio Urshela, which speaks to just how good that signing was by Perry Manassian in the offseason, particularly in the absence of Anthony Rendon. I know you mentioned the fact that he's just behind Bo Bichette as far as singles in the American League. He's also 4th in average in the American League, too. So he is getting it done as far as the offense is concerned. And I had a chance to catch up with him earlier today about how he's been feeling at the plate.
I'm feeling good, just trying to do my job, trying to take good at-bats and trying to help the team.
Yeah, you take really good at-bats, especially against some of the best pitchers in the game. What is it about the moment when it doesn't matter who you're facing, could be the other team's ace or number 5 starter, you are giving them a professional at-bat? How are you approaching those?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to wait for my pitch, don't trying to do too much, trying to bring myself and trying to hit the ball. Wherever it's the pitch, I try to hit it that way.
You're so consistent in your approach. You've also had some timely clutch hitting. Do you consider yourself clutch?
Not really. I just that happened in the moment, so I just trying to like I said, to be myself and try to help the team win.
How much does it help stabilize you defensively too, now that you're back at third in your natural position? How much does that help all around with your game?
I mean, that's help a lot the way I play, like just trying to separate defense and offense. Try to, when I'm on the field, like a third base, try to be third base 100%, and then when I go to hit, like try to be the best hitter I can be when at the plate.
Last one for you. Are you still using the bat that Shohei signed?
I still use it sometimes during practice. I used it the other day, but it's still there. Yeah, still working.
So clearly it's still working. You're praying that one that doesn't break, right?
I mean, if it breaks, you got to sign another one. Yeah.
Keep it going. Thanks for the time, Gio.
All right, thank you.
And speaking of third base, Gio Urshela, of course, has been doing so much at the plate and at third base as far as the defense is concerned. Anthony Rendon is on the trip. He's here, inching closer and closer to a return. In fact, Patrick, today was the first day he took the field with his glove, fielded a couple of baseballs, but he has been doing sprints out in the outfield, feeling pretty good about those. The next move, though, is getting those cuts in as far as the jogging goes. So he's been coming out of all of his progressions okay, continuing to get closer and closer, but the important thing is that he's here. He took some ground balls on the field today, so hopefully sooner rather than later for Anthony.
Erica, we appreciate you very much. I know you asked Urshela if he feels clutch. We're just going to say you are absolutely clutch. We appreciate you. Have a great game, and we'll catch up with you later on.
Thanks.
You got it. Michael Kopech, this guy throws 63% four-seam fastball. So do you tell your team to be sitting fastball? How do you get ready? The Angels, by the way, they hit heaters, 95 miles per hour plus, coming in with a 257 batting average.
Yes, some of the guys in the lineup really feast on fastballs, but you have to get the fastballs in that little square. He likes to throw the ball to his arm side. That will move in on right-handers off the plate. It hurts when you swing at those. And then he likes to swing it, throw it up out of the zone like you see right there, and that's almost impossible to hit. So get him in the box, get him down, and you could have some success for sure. And we'll have some professional at-bats as we go through it.
Sorry, Bobby, last couple of starts for Kopech, very good. 11 scoreless, that coming against the Royals and the Guardians. So we're just about at the halfway point of our Angels Live pregame show. When we come back, Bobby Valentine's going to take a look at the division leaders in the American League and the National League on this Memorial Day.
This Memorial Day, Bally Sports honors our fallen warriors.
Growing up, Travis focused on three things: school, family, and baseball.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art. Construction. Baseball.
How'd you guess?
With the help of Major League Baseball, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you, Play Ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
Studios. Brooke Fletcher here alongside Russell Dorsey and Joshua Perry. Guys, Tom Brady is now a minority owner in the Raiders organization. Now with everything going on, you think there's a possibility he can be under center?
Maybe on Madden, but not in real life. I don't think so either. And I think that there are some rules that'd be tricky to get around for having an ownership stake in the team and playing for it, too.
All right, well, we're going to talk more topics like this right here on The Rally. You can catch it Tuesday on your local Valley Sports Network. We'll see you then.
And Christine O'Reilly, the Executive Director of White Sox Carriers.
Liam Hendricks was being honored at Guaranteed Rate Field. Liam Hendricks returning from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. His first game of the season, tremendously emotional moment going on right there south side of Chicago. Here with Bobby Valentine and Patrick O'Neill. And so, Bobby, we are officially a third of the way through the season. Memorial Day sort of, marks that, that date of where you look at the division leaders and think, oh, these guys are probably legit. What do you think when you look at the American League division leaders and Texas, that offense and their pitching, adding Evaldi, they look to be for real. Tampa continues to play great baseball. And the Minnesota Twins, they have a quiet lead of 2 games.
Yeah, I think Tampa and the Rangers are both very good teams. Now, neither of them have gone their 2-8 stretch yet. They're going to go 2-8 during a 10-game stretch during the season. We'll see how they rebound, but there's no reason to think they can't. They're quality teams.
Yeah, Texas offense is right up there when you look at OPS as the team just behind the Tampa Bay Rays. And with them winning today, Texas over Detroit. Angels are currently now in 4th in the division, 7 back of the Rangers. Looking at the National League, your thoughts on the division leaders here?
Once again, 2 of those teams are really good teams, the Braves and the Dodgers. And Milwaukee's playing okay, and they're a pretty good team too. But 2-8 will fall into their future, and we'll see how they rebound.
I think that surprise team for sure is the Diamondbacks in the National League.
So far, yeah, they've had their run. When you have a big run, you want to have that big run of wins towards the end of the season. You don't want to have the big run of wins early in the season because it becomes forgotten history. There's over 100 games to play yet. These standings mean nothing.
Well, then the Angels have everybody right where they want them, and they're going to pick up those wins at the end of the season. Certainly hope so. Okay, we'll take a break as we continue to get you set. Angels take it on the White Sox in Chicago on Memorial Day.
Drip, drip, drop, never stop, stop, stop. It's so hot, hot, hot.
Shredded beef birria, only at El Pollo Loco.
I wear a few different hats as CFO. Sometimes it's referred to as Chief Fixing Officer. Wherever there's a fire in the business, I'm often there first. And I think that's the bit that I really enjoy and love. It kind of spreads more widely than finance.
Whatever hat CFOs like Imran need to wear, Sage has tools and insights to help them knock it out of the park. Sage, helping business flow.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Make your summer special during the Kia Summer Sales Event with a dependable SUV or a powerful sedan. Lease a new 2023 Forte LXS for $199 a month.
Double shredded beef tostada from El Pollo Loco.
This Memorial Day, Bally Sports honors our fallen warriors.
Growing up, my son Chris was a natural athlete. When he wasn't racing BMX bikes, he was playing at the baseball field. After high school, Chris was drafted by the Atlanta Braves, but he wanted to join a different team. He became a sniper in the United States Army and was deployed to Afghanistan. Near the end of his deployment, I knew things were getting heated when he'd call home.
This is Chris Bryant. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Chris Bryant plays hard so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
I'ma do what? That's on me. I'm a young boy, but I'll keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. I'ma do what? That's on me. I'm a young boy, but I'll keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key.
He toes the rubber for your Halos against the Chicago White Sox, kicking off a 7-game road trip. Here with Bobby V. Let's take a look, Bobby, at this Angels batting order. So Mickey Moniak is going to lead off. Luis Rengifo gets a start. Well, you know, do you like the way this lineup takes shape here?
Yeah, as you mentioned, some fastball hitters there spread out through the lineup. It's a good lineup.
And Mickey Moniak, from what you've seen, you know, they're kind of a bit of a platoon situation going, and a platoon at first. How's that working out in your opinion?
Yeah, I think Phil's going to use guys where they can help the team win. Yeah.
Okay, great. Bobby, we'll be here for post-game. We're looking forward to the game in Chicago. Wayne Randazzo, Mark Gubaza, Erica Weston. It's a big game for the Angels against the White Sox, but we go there right now for a moment of silence. Here's the PA announcer in Chicago.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we enjoy our time with family and friends in the ballpark on Memorial Day, Major League Baseball and the White Sox would like to take a moment to pause and remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country. We ask that you please rise if you are able and join us now in a brief moment of silence. Thank you. And now please remain standing. Active military and veterans may keep your hats on while rendering a military salute as the Northville High School Choir sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bells were singing in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
It's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats
A walk-off flare!
and players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
Jeremy Peña, the world champion shortstop with movie star presencia.
Every Dominican wants to grow up and play baseball, bro.
When I was 13.
I was like, this must take him maybe 5 minutes to get ready for these games.
When it's about to go down,
This is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
62! I did it! How about that?
Big moments, big reactions, and big interviews. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight. Keep up with every team on MLB Network wherever you go. Just download the MLB app, click MLB Network, and sign in with your TV provider info. Then watch MLB Network all day, every day, your way. When it's about to go down,
this is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
You will watch it all together live.
He's done it, 62! How about that?
Big moments.
Oh, baby, 3,000 hits.
Big reactions.
Bobby Witt Jr.'s first big league knock.
And big interviews.
What was the first thing going through your mind?
Join TV's best baseball analysts for a big night of baseball. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight.
The heart of a fan.
Today we honor America's soldiers who gave their lives to protect our country. It's Memorial Day, and the Angels are in Chicago, opening up a 3-game series against the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field. Alongside Mark Gubiza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gubi, Memorial Day provides a checkpoint around Major League Baseball, not only for teams to figure out where they are, but in the Angels' case, it's exactly 1/3 of the way through the season as well. So what are some things that have stood out to you?
2 games over 500, Wayne. A lot to like, especially that middle part of the lineup. A lot of power in the middle part of the lineup. You got Trout, Ohtani, Renfroe, and Drury. 42 combined home runs amongst those, especially with Trout and Ohtani with 12 apiece, 10 for Renfroe, 8 for Drury. So there's a lot of power there. But also when you think about it, with that power, you have some youngsters in there doing an outstanding job as far as swinging the bat and creating opportunities. Logan Hoppe, before getting injured, he was one of the best catchers in the game. Mickey Moniak has crushed the ball, especially from that leadoff spot. And Zach Neto, his defense solidified that infield defense, but also it's showing that power, especially going the other way. So the kids have been great, and that middle of the lineup has been powering it, giving you a chance to get to that postseason. It's 2 games over 500 right now. Hope to get better in the next third.
Yeah, the junior Angels. We could see Ben Joyce's Major League debut while we're here in Chicago. We will see Griffin Canning on the mound tonight for the Angels. He'll go up against the hard-throwing Michael Kopech. Canning's been excellent lately. 7 scoreless innings his last time. We'll see how it goes for the Angels tonight as they open up in Chicago against the White Sox. Coming up next.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
To get your best night's sleep, you need to sleep in something extraordinary. Woven with a silky softness unlike any other. From organic threads that are slow spun and finished in flame. Made from an ingredient so rare, less than 1% of the world's cotton meets our quality. It's the most extraordinary fabric ever made. Only from Boll & Branch.
ED is difficult for me and for my partner. Through HIMS, I can message a licensed provider about clinically proven ED treatments. Like the generic form of Viagra, which can cost 90% less than the brand name version. Then HIMS ships discreetly to my door for free. I never knew it could be this easy to get my confidence back. Now we can both count on a great experience every time. Start your free visit today at forhims.com.
by the USAA. Join us in honoring our nation's fallen heroes. Memorial Day and a couple of Team USA members hanging out before the game. Mike Trout and Tim Anderson will go head-to-head. The Angels and the White Sox coming up.
What we doing? Game time. Let's go.
Guaranteed Rate Field on Chicago's south side, the opener of this 3-game series. A lot of Halo fans I noticed here making the holiday trip. Or maybe they're just reverse snowbirds. I don't know. Maybe they come here for the summer.
Oh, it's beautiful weather here. This 3 days supposed to be perfect here in Chicago.
Simpson Chevy has the Angels lineup. Mickey Moniak back at the top. Trout and Ohtani. A lot of folks coming here to see those two over the course of the next few days. The OPS plus all above average for everybody in the lineup. Luis Rengifo, the only one who's not, but he's got a home run in his career against Michael Kopech, and the White Sox starter will be on the mound momentarily as they expected a first pitch of 7:10 locally here in Chicago. So any minute now, the White Sox will take the field. Now, at some point tonight, after Michael Kopech is done, the White Sox will throw open their bullpen door, and Liam Hendriks could be coming out of it. Liam Hendriks back in the bullpen for the White Sox as he battled non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 4 cancer, and in less than 5 months, Liam Hendriks was able to go through chemotherapy, get better, be cancer-free, and get back to a big league mound. It's truly an incredible story, and it'll be a big ovation once Liam Hendriks does get in the game.
Emotional too. Before the game, they announced that. It's amazing at what he's been able to accomplish. It's great to see it. Michael Kopech on the mound for the White Sox. He has been throwing the ball well last couple of starts. 15 innings, no runs allowed, just 3 hits. My go-tos, though, to turn that around and get some good swings against him here tonight for the Angels against Kopech is you got to square up the fastballs. You got to have that power, and he's given up some home runs versus his fastball this season, and you got to hit that up in the upper part of the strike zone. 7 home runs allowed and pressure him on the base. He's allowed 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts. The Angels don't run a lot, but still the threat of a stolen base to get one of those fastballs over the plate. And the defense behind Kopech today for the White Sox, you got Tim Anderson at shortstop. 9-69 fielding percentage this season, 17 double plays, healthy so far. Benintendi out in left, Robert Jimenez in right field, Moncada, Gonzalez, Sheets, Zavala behind the plate calling the pitches for Kopech.
And the White Sox wearing their City Connect uniforms, some of the best in the business, with the south side across the front of the jersey. The White Sox with a rich uniform history. You have to give them credit for very colorful designs over the years, some outside the box concepts.
Maybe shorts.
Yeah, they've done a little bit of everything. Collars on the shirts. And the Chicago White Sox always with a classic look, whatever they decide, as they go with the City Connects in the all black tonight against the Angels. Ready to go in Chicago. It's our kind of town, you know.
It is. And yours for sure, Wayne.
Well, whenever Michael Kopech's ready. There it is, and a first pitch swung on and missed, but there's that fastball up in the zone, 95. That's what Kopech likes.
And it might as well be swinging at the first pitch. He's around the strike zone. If there was a lot of fastballs, so they'll be ready to jump on it. He does have some pretty good movement upstairs on his fastball, too.
No starting pitcher in the major leagues has thrown more fastballs than Kopech, at least in terms of the percentage of fastballs used.
And in an era where we're seeing starting pitchers, even when they have plus fastballs, don't throw a lot of them. He goes against the grain. Throws a ton, over 64%.
That's just the four seam alone. That's not mixing in two seamers or cutters or anything like that. That is just the four seam that he's throwing in that 60 to 65% range. He's been great his last couple of starts.
In our Hyundai key for the game today, we're in Chicago. Got to go sticks. Blue collar man against Kopech. You got to be up there and you got to battle. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. Doesn't give up a lot of hits. So when he does make that mistake, you got to cover and get it out of the ballpark.
Kopech tries the back door and it's not there for him. A classic Chicago band.
Yes,
Sticks.
yes. Finally got to see them in concert a couple years ago in Vegas. It was outstanding.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
3-2 on Mickey Moniak, and he swings through the high heater for strike three.
At the very least, he saw a number of pitches, which is good for Trout and Ohtani coming up next. So it had to take 7 pitches to get Moniak out. Did strike out. Saw a slider or two in there, especially one at 91, the other at 87.
Kopech doesn't get the high strike there from John Lipka, the home plate umpire.
Boy, Trout loves hitting this ballpark. 343 with 9 home runs in this yard.
It's a hitter-friendly place. It typically is among the highest in the major leagues in home runs per game. Park factors always favor the hitter here at Guaranteed Rate Field. It's always been that way.
Baseball really carries out the right center in this yard.
You know, Wrigley Field, about 8 miles north of here, is more dependent on the weather and where the wind's blowing. But here it always seems like as long as it's summer, there's going to be home runs. Trout taking on 3-0, looks at a strike.
Just a couple days ago, was swinging 3-0 and hit a good shot to right center. Doesn't do it a lot. Interesting thing, Zavala sets up right in the middle of the plate and a trusted movement on Kopech's fastball. That's something they've worked on. That way he can get those pitches and don't worry about trying to start on the corner, because then it's going to be off the plate. Start in the middle. Shohei Ohtani loves to hit firm fastballs.
Shohei had a struggle against Miami. He only had 1 hit in the Angels series against the Marlins. He gets hit here by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Hit him in the leg, and we'll get a look to see exactly where, as Ohtani will take his base and Trout goes to second.
That get him in the shin or in the knee? I remember he got hit by one game against the Dodgers right in the kneecap. Came back out the next day and hit a home run. Ooh. Ooh, right in the shin area, the calf.
It'll be a bruise and it'll hurt, but it looks like it was at least somewhat of a fleshier part. Shohei yelped and looked a little bit
That's one of those ones too, especially in that calf area where that could stiffen up as the game progresses.
He's the designated hitter, so there is time between plate appearances for the Angels to do whatever they need to do and make sure Shohei stays in this game. But 95 is going to sting no matter where it touches you.
Yes. And there's so many fans, even when he was throwing the weighted baseballs against the wall and playing catch with Ippei before the game, so many fans were watching him taking pictures.
Well, there was legitimate excitement around here for Trout and Ohtani to be here.
You get a good idea where this got. Bone there also, and the calf.
He looks disgusted too.
Yeah.
How could you do that to me?
Yes.
And the Angels have a couple of base runners without a hit so far. A walk and a hit by a pitch, and now Hunter Renfroe stands in against Michael Kopech. Sometimes Gooby Kopech will lose confidence in the fastball, and that's when he starts to get hit.
Yeah, and that's why he starts to aim it where it doesn't have the movement that you normally would see on his fastball.
Pops the outside corner there to make it 1-1 strike on Renfroe. The White Sox give up a lot of runs, period, especially in the first innings. Their bullpen hasn't been very good for the season, although been better lately. Pitching actually hasn't been that bad for the White Sox lately. They struggle to score runs as Hunter Renfroe fouls that one off. I guess you could say that about every team in the American League Central.
Well, the Twins were able to come back and win their game in 10 innings against the Astros today. They scored some runs finally.
A couple of runs in the 10th inning pushed Minnesota over the Astros earlier today at Minute Maid. Jaime Barria, the only pitcher without allowing an earned run in a longer stretch than Kopech at the moment.
He hasn't had a lot of traffic either. Just 3 hits allowed during this stretch.
Only 1 walk, 19 strikeouts. He's been excellent. When he was facing Kansas City and Cleveland, I think that has to be a caveat. Just the way those offenses are, the way those teams hit. This is a much better lineup that he's facing tonight rather than those other two. It's just how it is.
And you got an opportunity, especially with Renfroe. He likes hitting high fastballs. The first fastball Kopech threw him was a fastball at the knees. He's looking for that high elevated fastball.
Kopech bounces that one, and Sebi Zavala stays with it.
That's a nice job by Zavala behind the plate on that. That was a overthrown slider in the dirt. Catching and throwing out base runners has been an issue for the White Sox.
This Robert is very shallow in center field for a power guy at the plate.
Good battle here. Went change up there. It's a power change up, just like you'll see from Griffin Canning. Going to be 90-92 range on his changeup.
And 20 pitches thrown already from Kopech here in the first. Some of those have been to Renfroe. Tries to get the Angels on the board in the first inning in Chicago. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. It's the best breaking ball we've seen from Kopech so far tonight.
That had a sharp break to it. That's a nasty spot. Could have even been called a strike too.
So 2 outs. That brings up Brandon Drury.
Shohei moving around quite a bit just to keep that leg loose after getting hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, fortunate for everyone here. The temperature's in the 70s today. Here's a wild pitch from Kopech. Trout goes to third, and Shohei takes second base.
This is his second wild pitch of the season. When you throw a lot of fastballs, it's difficult to throw many. But now it takes away that nasty slider in the dirt potential with a man on third.
Zavala's done some work in this inning just to make sure it's only been 1 wild pitch. A few others that have bounced that Zavala has stopped. So a chance for the Angels to get one, maybe two with a base hit. And Drury sends one deep in the air to left. Back for it is Benintendi. That ball is gone. Brandon Drury drives in 3. It's a home run off of Michael Kopech in the first. And the Angels come right out of the gate with a 3-run shot from Drury.
Just like we talked about in the opening, that power in the middle of the lineup, that's now 43 home runs with that 9th home run of the season for Brandon Drury. He jumped on that pitch. Got a pitch exactly where he wanted, a 4-seam fastball, the 8th home run allowed by Kopech on his 4-seamer. Brandon Drury covered it.
Kabuto for Brandon Drury, Chicago style.
Is that a deep dish then?
No, I think it has the neon green relish on it.
Okay.
And a 3-run homer for Brandon Drury has given the Angels the early lead. Here's Matt Dice.
After going 15 straight innings without allowing a run, a 3-run home run.
Now, he'll give up homers. That's 13 home runs he's allowed now this year. 9 of them have come in 2 starts. And he's had some days where he's really given up a lot of home runs at once. Gave up 5 in his first start of the year. Now you can see the confidence really wavering for Kopech, and that's always something with him you have to watch, because his confidence will waver and that will bring down his results. High fly ball off the bat of Matt Dice. Robert chasing this one. He's going to watch it go. Back-to-back home runs in the first. Brandon Drury and Matt Dice have given the Halos a 4-0 lead.
Boy, that's some power the other way. We've talked about how the baseball will carry in this yard, but the other way that far, Matty Dice is nice on that swing. Wow. After struggling to score some runs against the Marlins, 4 here against a very, very good pitcher, including 2 home runs back-to-back.
Kabuto getting tossed around in the visitors' dugout right now. Gio Urshela fouls off the first pitch. We see the first blast first from Brandon Drury.
That's right down the heart of the plate. Little bit of tail action, but right into the barrel and the swing path. Brandon Drury, 3-run shot. And then this pitch, hard to the plate, did not try to pull. That's some good power. Matt Dice, the other way, left central, deep part of the yard.
We talked about it with Kopech. His pitches have to be elevated. He has to work above the zone. Those pitches were middle or down, and that's a danger zone for him.
Yep. And the Angels have hit fastballs, especially 95+ mile-an-hour fastballs, when they're not that upper part of the strike zone or above.
It's a 30-pitch inning now for Kopech. Gio Urshela has really been swinging the bat well lately over the last 3.5 weeks. He's hit .378 to lead the majors. He strikes out on the high heater. That's the spot Kopech likes to live, but he didn't live there in the top of the first. The Angels blasted back-to-back 2-out homers. Brandon Drury, a 3-run shot, got the Angels on the board, and Matt Dice followed it up with an opposite field bomb to make it 4-0 after a half.
They said optical shops weren't very inviting, so we, Warby Parker, created ones that were. They said prescription eyewear was too expensive, so we offered more affordable glasses, contacts, and eye exams. They said opticians weren't always friendly, so we hired only the friendliest and the most knowledgeable. And finally, they said the whole experience was just kind of unpleasant, so we set out to change that too. Visit a Warby Parker store and see for yourself.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Join ButcherBox today and get 100% grass-fed ground beef free for a year.
there a Chicago steak dinner because he's been gifted a 4-run lead before throwing a pitch.
Yeah, I love to see that. You can be more aggressive, especially when you go back to that last time out, 7 shutout innings. My go-tos for Griffin Canning to build on that last time out is late break on his slider. It has been very, very good at 89 to even 90 miles an hour, where he will get some swing and misses, 13 strikeouts. 4-pitch mix. He throws his fastball, his curveball, his slider, and changeup pretty much equally throughout the course of a game.
Canning will face Tim Anderson to start things off tonight. Former batting champion in the American League leading off. White Sox lineup with the OPS plus relative to the league average and also to ballpark factors, evens everything out. Tim Anderson, no matter how you slice it, has struggled to begin the year. Lifts this ball to right field, but it hangs up. Hunter Renfroe makes the catch, and Anderson a quick out.
Always good to get him out, especially when you look back at his career on fastballs. He's really, really good. And the defense here for the Halos tonight, Moniak in left, Mike Trout out in center, 2 outfield assists, 1,000 fielding percentage so far in center. Renfroe in right field. Marcelo, Neto, Rengifo, Drury at first, 3-run home run. He had Matt Thaiss behind the plate. Solo shot. Calling the pitches for Griffin Canning, but Trouty out there in center field. Fellow mates on the Team USA just flew out to right field.
Andrew Benintendi looks at strike 1. Benintendi, like Anderson, has not hit a home run yet in 2023. Andrew Benintendi signed the richest free agent contract in White Sox history over the offseason. That's right. 5 years, $75 million. It's the most they've ever spent in a total deal on a free agent. Here's a line drive to right. Renfroe got a good jump. He won't reach it, though. Benintendi heads for second. He's got a 1-out double.
He's got 15 doubles on the season. He's not homered yet, but 15 doubles.
He's among the American League leaders in that category. Benintendi adds to it with the first hit tonight for the White Sox. That brings up Luis Robert. Canning fires in a strike. First pitch strikes are very important to Griffin Canning.
Yes, and when he gets ahead, he can use those 4-pitch mix and now allow a hitter to sit on a certain pitch and be successful. And he's had some pretty good life on his fastball himself. I mean, he was touching 97 the other day.
He was excellent in that last start. Canning going 7 innings against the Red Sox, allowed only 2 hits, no runs. Picked up the win, easily the best start that he's had this season and maybe in a few seasons. Swing and a miss.
Like that. Like that spot. And take a look at our StatCast for the powered by Google Cloud. Pitches worked to get outs last time out for Griffin Canning. 8 on his slider, 7 changeup, 4 seamer. He got 4 outs, curveball, and a sinker. That fastball upstairs at 96. You know, Robert was looking off speed. The White Sox hit off speed pretty good.
And 2 outs, and Eloy Jimenez will be the batter. Good breaking ball there as Jimenez flailed at it for strike 1. You know, Canning throws just as hard as Kopech. Yeah. No reason why he can't live at the top of the zone like that.
And he will throw that 4-seamer up there. But his curveball, I thought, was outstanding last time out. He was telling me in between starts, best he's felt with that pitch in a long, long time.
This one hit up the middle. Trout will play it on a hop, and Benintendi heads for the plate. Trout's throw is on the way and cut off. Benintendi scores on a 2-out base hit by Jimenez, and the White Sox get one back here in the first.
One thing you want is that 0 up there. Jimenez is a guy that will put a good swing on a pitch, especially a fastball that didn't quite get above the zone. Lines it center.
Canning in there with a strike to Yohan Moncada. Moncada has spent some time on the injured list this year. Had some back issues. Can be a dangerous hitter when he's healthy. You could say that about a lot of guys in this White Sox lineup.
A lot of strikes already in this first inning to try to maintain that lead of 3 runs here.
Canning gets another strikeout, this one of Moncada. It's 2 strikeouts in the first, and the White Sox do put up a run.
To get your best night's sleep, you need to sleep in something extraordinary. Woven with a silky softness unlike any other. From organic threads that are slow spun and finished in flame. Made from an ingredient so rare, less than 1% of the world's cotton meets our quality. It's the most extraordinary fabric ever made. Only from Boll & Branch.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car, then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid. Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
Angels able to beat on high fastballs this season. 95 plus, 3rd best in the American League in terms of batting average. Of course, Kopech throws a lot of those hard heaters, and the Angels took a couple out in the top of the first. Luis Rengifo homered against Kopech last year, and he takes a strike to begin the top of the second.
I think he would love that pitch back right in that exact spot. 95 was in that wheel zone for Rengifo.
Kopech threw 30 pitches in the first.
It's amazing that trend that White Sox pitchers giving up runs in the first inning, and Kopech, who had been throwing the ball so well last couple of starts, gives up 4.
The White Sox will give up some home runs. They've allowed 77 this year. That's 22 fewer than they've hit. Usually bad news when you have that home run differential so stark in the negative direction as it is for the White Sox.
That pitch could have easily, by the way, Wayne, could have been a strike there.
Well, it wasn't, and neither was that. Ball 4 to Luis Rengifo.
His 95 plus mile-an-hour fastball is 95. No run action to the barrel, and then that 97 in the lower third hit out. So back-to-back home runs on 95, 97. By the way, that's a 17th walk by Rengifo. 75 as a team.
77 now with the 2 tonight. 14 allowed by Kopech. That's a boatload of home runs given up. Only Jordan Lyles of the Royals has allowed more homers this year than Kopech. Hard but foul by Zach Neto, the #9 batter. White Sox as a team. Now, if you just discredit the A's completely, the White Sox have allowed the most home runs. Oakland's given up way more. You almost can't even pay attention to that. You almost have to just cross them off.
By the way, going back to Rengifo, that's 17 walks this season. He had 17 all of last year. That's well over 500 plus at bats for Rengifo. 4 stolen bases on the year, been caught once. Not a bad combination to be on the move here.
Kopech a little slow to the plate. Zavala's got a decent arm.
That got him again. That's
Neto's
number 10.
Been hit 10 times in his first 41 major league games. It's coming for Craig Biggio and whoever's on that list. Don Baylor.
Yeah, the late great Groove, Don Baylor. But if you're going to get hit, especially when you're getting hit with a fastball, it's 95. Just right on that jersey. I wonder right now, especially with Moniak and his speed. Gavin Sheets is playing way back. Just not a square around for a bunt. Sacrifice for just a drag bunt for a hit.
Goes after that bending breaking ball from Kopech. Yeah, Sheets is pretty far back at first, and the second baseman Gonzalez is toward the middle. So if Moniak did have some confidence in a drag bunt, could easily beat it out.
Yeah, he was doing that again. Every time they have a day game on a Sunday at home, they're out there early working on that drag bunt.
Moniak's cooled off a bit over the last few games. That's bound to happen. I mean, he was hitting 450 for about a week and a half.
Yes.
Obviously, that's not going to be how it is.
He's had a lot of really big moment hits too for the Angels, late and close.
Those 3 leadoff home runs, tied for the major league lead in that category. Going after that high fastball again away.
He's had a tough time making contact. Kopech has been living up there against him, up and away. Imagine he tries that again.
Two balls, 2 strikes. See Rengifo kind of dancing around at second base. Would you advise that he takes off and they try a double steal?
The only thing, it's harder because it's a left-handed batter. You have a clear path right to third base. Unless you get a great jump, I think you stay there. You're in scoring position for the guy on deck also.
Swing and a miss. Kopech pulls the string on Moniak. A rare changeup from Kopech to get a strikeout. Mickey has struck out a couple of times tonight. That'll bring up Trout. Walked and scored in the first inning. Came home on the 3-run homer of Brandon Drury's.
Remember, it was 3 straight baseballs out of the zone. He threw a strike and then 1 out of the strike zone. So Trout has been more aggressive this year on the first pitch. You might see him jumping on the first pitch fastball.
Kopech may have been ready for that and gets a strike at the bottom of the zone, or maybe a little below it. Not a good umpire for Kopech, though, if he's going to call low strikes but not high ones.
Whoa.
Nuke LaLoosh sends one to the backstop.
That's 2 wild pitches for a guy that doesn't throw a lot of wild pitches. That was another changeup. He was successful in the first changeup and tried to make it a perfect pitch when you didn't have to when you threw the first one that well. Forcing the infield in, which I'm sure if you're an infielder against Trout, you're real happy about. Remember sometimes when Frank Thomas was up at the plate and the infield was in. I had a number of infielders saying, "Hey, way to go. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it."
I mean, that's not a spot you want to be in, that's for sure.
No.
Trout hasn't hit much this year with runners in scoring position. Has a chance, though, with the infield in and 2 in scoring position. And Kopech almost threw another one to the backstop. Kopech had been truly dominant his last couple of starts, but first inning tonight where he got whacked around, he walked a batter, he hit a batter, and then the Angels started launching. And now in this inning, same thing, a walk, a hit by pitch, and the Angels in position. See if they launch again. Trout had one that he could have launched and fouled it back.
That was his pitch. He chased the fastball a little off the plate. The last foul ball. Already at 50 pitches. Kopech.
This is the launch sequence in the Angels' order. Trout and then Ohtani. As the Halos try to pound away at Michael Kopech in the first couple of innings tonight. Loop toward first, foul territory. Sheets couldn't make the play.
That's a break right there. And a lot of times when you're a pitcher, you make a pitch like that against such a great hitter like Trout, you think, okay, I got that all-important second out, and unable to make the play. You're apt to make a mistake because you're frustrated. See if Trout's ready.
Right-handed first baseman has a little easier path on a play like that. Sheets had to reach across his body as a lefty and couldn't quite get there. So a new life for Trout. Infield in a precarious spot as they play in. The Angels trying to add to their lead here in the second. And Trout swings and misses.
Chase a slider out of the strike zone. A couple chases in that sequence for Trout. You see that often. Chased a fastball off the plate, and then same thing with slider. Open base here now with Ohtani at the plate. You wonder how many pitches he's going to make close enough for Shohei to make good contact with.
Now why throw any?
Yep.
Especially how wild Kopech's been. There's ball 1 away. Shohei's at 340 with runners in scoring position this year. Renfroe on deck's at about $1.67 in those spots. So that alone, plus the difference of having a righty-righty advantage, you'd think the White Sox would just stay away from Ohtani. Playing with fire here. Shohei had a big cut at a fastball.
That's his pitch he hit well out to left center. And they're shading him out to left center in the outfield.
Ohtani lays off there, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. I never understand the point. If you're going to pitch around a guy, why bother?
I'm looking in there. Zavala's looking in there. I'm thinking, just go walk him, because now you're trying to get him to swing it at a non-strike. Well, that's exactly goes against what you're trying to do as a pitcher normally. So you're more apt to get one in the zone and see if Shohei can cover it.
Pops it up. A 3-1 pitch in a hittable spot. This one drops into Moncada's glove. And Kopech able to survive a rally in the second.
From the power at the plate.
Vinny hits it deep to right field. Gone!
To the domination on the mound.
And the speed on the base pass.
This takes off. He's in there safely.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
I'ma do what? That's on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Was eligible to come off of the injured list on Wednesday, and while the team still isn't providing any kind of timetable for his return, he's continuing to make progress in the right direction. He is on the trip, and look at this. He made some progress earlier today by wearing his glove. That's right. This is the first time Anthony's been out on the field with the glove, fielding a few grounders, throwing some baseballs today, continuing to ramp up his progressions. Phil Nevin said the next steps after the sprinting in the outfield, it's some cutting, some moving around the bases, but again, the progressions about what they thought they would be, so inching closer and closer to the right direction. But Gooby, it just speaks to how valuable Gio Urshela has been holding it down over at third with the defense and with the bat, too.
Yeah, he has been great, but then you get Anthony Rendon back in there. That will give you two hitters that are so clutch in those spots, especially with runners in scoring position, men on third, and also great gloves no matter where you put them.
That's where you just saw the Angels unable to score in the second, that you miss Rendon the most. And Urshela might be a better defender at the end of the day at third base, but you miss Rendon's at bats with runners in scoring position. He's the best one on the team in those spots, just in terms of the at bats that he takes.
I mean, this is a big inning for Canning and the Angels. The momentum, be able to get through that inning for Kopech with a man on second and third and one out. You get through Trout and Ohtani. You keep it a 3-run deficit. Very, very big for Canning to go down and have a quick, clean inning here.
Bouncer off the bat of Andrew Vaughn. There's Urshela with the lob across the diamond, and Vaughn retired, one away.
That's right on cue. Urshela getting that ground ball. It's almost mandatory.
That's how we do it.
Yes.
Yeah, we plan that.
Yes.
This is all just scripted, right? That's what they say about the NBA playoffs anyway. What writer's strike?
Yes.
Here's Gavin Sheets.
He is up there to do damage. He is a big, strong young player. His dad, Larry, was a power hitter himself at Baltimore.
Had to have had some battles with Larry Sheets.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Sheets at 31 homers in '87 when they had that rabbit ball. You guys were getting knocked around.
Yeah, there was a few bases to back up during that stretch.
87. Now look up the numbers from 1987 if you don't believe me, when they had the rabbit ball that year. Gooby knows.
Yeah, Kevin Seitzer, my teammate, he ended up at 15, 18 home runs. He never
won the batting
that
title that year.
Brett Butler, I think, even had double figures in home runs that year. Not that I'm remembering all those things.
Ranifo handles this bouncer from Sheets, and there's 2 up, 2 down.
Seitzer doing a really good job hitting coach for the Braves. That's a lot of guys that do some damage to the baseball down there. I mean, Matt Olson's hit a couple home runs over 460 feet this year for the Braves.
I'm sure Angels fans are glad that he's not in the American League West anymore. See you later. Here's Romy Gonzalez. Gonzalez playing second base tonight. It's a pop-up to right field. It's going to be a quick inning for Griffin Canning. Hunter Renfroe grabs that. Canning a 1-2-3 second.
This This is Mookie Betts. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Jeremy Peña, the world champion shortstop with movie star presencia.
Every Dominican wants to grow up and play baseball, bro.
When I was 13, I was like, the plan is to get to the big leagues.
I love seeing young Dominicans win, bro, because I'm an old Dominican.
Ya tú sabes que el dominicano que juega, todo el mundo juega pelota. I was just looking forward to playing again, man. This is going to be a fun year.
Salud. A la vida más linda.
Salud, hermano.
Of Angels baseball with your group of 20 or more. Get tickets for as low as $8 per seat. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups for more details. Told you a lot of Halo fans were here. I saw a lot on my way in today. All personal friends of mine, by the way.
Well, of course,
invited everybody here.
Yeah, quite a few here. Pretty good crowd here today.
There is. Rey Mysterio Jr. in the house. That's nice.
Yes. Saying hi to you now, I think. Check your phone. Is that one of your passes coming in here? Won it again.
Well, Tom Taylor knows he's got the whole list. Hunter Renfroe drives one toward the left field line. Long run. Benintendi after it. He makes the running catch.
Well, Benintendi can cover some ground. Brandon Drury, that swing, that 3-run shot he hit, get a fastball the way that this kind of leveled off and ran middle in, able to get the barrel and a good balance on that swing to be able to get that jumping off the bat. 103.8 miles per hour exit velocity, going 394. That's a good level swing. That baseball four-seamer had more of that lateral run right to the barrel of the bat and perfect swing on it.
This is his 9th home run of the year. He has 13 doubles, which leads the team. He has 2 triples, which tied for the team lead. Now 9 home runs. One more would make him the 4th Angel to reach 10 already this year. Line drive down the line, foul here. He's got more extra base hits than he does singles. Gonna get him, make him count, right?
Even up there with Gio Urshela with all the singles.
That's right. There's Drury, the highest percentage of hits for extra bases by an American League player so far this year. Swings through the high fastball from Kopech. And there's another strikeout. The big right-hander for the White Sox has struck out 6.
I think anybody was guessing that was the case with Brandon Drury having more even than Aaron Judge. Yeah, percentage-wise.
Judge trying to get more singles this year.
Yeah. That would be a good thing if you're a pitcher. You love that.
Here's Matt Dice. Who was it? The Angels were playing fairly recently, and it's a big power hitter that tried to bunt Devers.
Yeah, and that was like, okay, please try that all the time.
Exactly.
We might even allow you to get a hit that way.
Sure, take it. Just don't hit one to the moon. Matt Dice was trying to scrape the moon with his home run in the first, a 414-foot homer for Dice.
Quicker innings so far here for Kopech. So you want to see if he can elong it back, get on base to keep working that pitch count. Came in with 58 into the 3rd inning.
The White Sox bullpen's been better, but that's still a unit you don't mind getting into. And Liam Hendricks is back, as we talked about earlier. Not expected to close right away. Not expected to pitch back-to-back days just yet. And a good long at bat here from Theis. Get you closer to that White Sox pen. Already 67 pitches from Kopech in 2 2/3 innings. Squared up again by Theis, falls in front of Robert. And Matt Theis is 2 for 2.
Nice at bat. Worked to a full count, got a slider, went back up the middle. So home run to left center, and then a base hit up the middle. Staying on the baseball, tracking it well, Matt Theis. His balance has been good, catching that slider out in front. Just what you were hoping for, to prolong this inning and give yourself a shot to score some more.
Brings up Urshela, struck out his first time. Urshela hitting at a very high level. You wonder how much of that is because he's been reunited with the hitting coaches that really helped him out the most on his way to the big leagues and breaking out in the big leagues. He gives a lot of credit to Phil Plantier and Marcus Timms for when Urshela really became an offensive player with the New York Yankees. You know, when he came up with Cleveland, he was just a glove first type of infielder. It was when he got to the Yankees that he really became an offensive threat. That one stayed low, but Moncada handles it low, throw to first, and Sheets can't dig it out. Well, White Sox defense can be sloppy at times, and there's a moment behind Kopech that keeps this inning going.
Yeah, he had plenty of time really to make a better throw to first base. Oh, a lot of times you'll see that scoop, but off balance, the low throw. Sheets unable to scoop that one. That's a break. Just like that, you have 2 more on.
That's a play that first basemen tend to make too. You know, the throw was low, but you often see a first baseman scoop that right out. Not a terribly challenging hop for Sheets. But it is an error on Moncada. And a chance for Rengifo with 2 on, 2 out.
Sheets was out there early today working on ground balls his way and throws like that in the dirt.
Now Kopech behind Rengifo 2-0. Rengifo walked his first time.
Yeah, you were thinking he was going to have that quick inning, got 2 quick outs just like that. He's already up to be 16 pitches thrown and still some traffic on the mound. I mean, on the bases against him.
Kopech pumps in a strike there to make it 2-1. Get those fastballs down in the zone, as we saw earlier. That's when the damage gets done against Kopech. That's the ball that Drury hit, the ball that Theis hit for home runs. It was in a similar spot to the one Rengifo just had. Angels scored 4 in the first, trying to add to their lead here in the third. And Rengifo strikes out swinging. Kopech has punched out 7 in the first 3 innings, but he trails 4-1.
Jeremy Peña, the world champion shortstop with movie star presencia.
Every Dominican wants to grow up and play baseball, bro.
When I was 13, I was like, the plan is to get to the big leagues.
I love seeing young Dominicans win, bro, because I'm an old Dominican.
Ya tú sabes que el dominicano que juega, todo el mundo juega pelota.
Claro.
I was just looking forward to playing again, man. This is going to be a fun year.
Salud. A la vida más fina.
Salud, hermano.
Hey kids, Join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
Between Griffin Canning and how effective he was working his changeup and slider usage at 49%. Very, very effective. His strike rate at 76. He got some ground ball action, something he hadn't done a whole lot. The past 62% ground ball. And you look at Kopech with his four-seamer at 63.7. Non-fastballs at over 64% for Griffin Canning. So complete opposites, even though they both touch around the same velocity on fastballs at times.
They both like to live upstairs with those fastballs too. Here's Sebi Zavala trying to dump one into right field. Renfroe coming in, won't get there. Base hit for Zavala. And it's just a 152 average, but off the end of his bat he finds some green grass in shallow right field.
Yeah, right towards the end of the bat, that's one of those non-fastballs.
Back to the top of the order. Here's Anderson, who looks at a strike. To feel like Tim Anderson's going to wake up. This is a dangerous offensive player who's been anything but to start this season. It's to wonder 2 months in if he's even healthy.
Yeah, I've heard the knee is now finally healthy for him.
Won the batting title in 2019. He had 335. He has not homered yet this year. Benintendi's got the most plate appearances without one. The former White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu was on top of that list just until yesterday. He touched up the Oakland A's. Pitch there by Canning, some late life to make it 1 ball 2 strikes on Tim Anderson.
He's always been really, really good on fastballs. Hit 324 this season. Last year was 296. That's why I've seen an assortment of secondary pitches so far.
Anderson joining a list of only 2 other White Sox to win the batting title in the American League. Frank Thomas was one, and Luke Appling was the other. Two balls, 2 strikes on Anderson.
He just rolled into 6 double plays this season. He'll hit the ball hard, and he hits the ball on the ground quite a bit. And a lot of times he'll hit that ball to the right side of the infield, so you got to be ready if you're Rengifo.
He played 79 games last year. Really hasn't had a fully healthy season since 2018. Even the year he won the batting title, he still missed almost 40 games.
See, he'll go the other way very effectively when he's got 2 strikes, and that was a fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Anderson. Trying to hold his swing, and he seemed to. He did, and that's a full count now. 3-2 after the leadoff hit by Zavala. Canning could use a strike.
And he definitely held up on that one.
Swing and a miss. Tim Anderson strikes out. Canning gets his 3rd. And there's one away here in the 3rd.
What a great changeup. Loves to throw his changeup to the right-handed batter. It's almost like a sinker at 91. You talk about movement on a changeup. Wow.
It's a pretty good pitch, and Griffin Canning hoping that his recent emergence can turn into a trend and turn into just who he is.
Let's go back to Wayne when I saw him in spring training, and the smile he had on his face. He was finally feeling healthy, and the way he was throwing the, it's there. It's gaining confidence and gaining strength, and started since 2021.
It's always been there. A 2nd-round pick out of UCLA. He was at Santa Margarita Catholic High School. He was the Orange County Register Pitcher of the Year. He's always been a talented guy. He rode that to UCLA, rode that to being a 2nd-round pick. It is there. It's always been there.
And it really, he would have been a high 1st-round pick, but there was concern a little bit when he was drafted of arm issues. He's always had great stuff, and he's really smart on the mound. And very athletic. Won a Gold Glove 2020.
Ahead of Benintendi, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Benintendi, former Royal, and since then he's bounced around. Went to the Red Sox, the Yankees. He'll be here in Chicago for a while as he hits this ball in the air to left. Pretty deep. The ball carries here. But Moniak has room, and he makes the catch. Didn't hit that great, but still went maybe a little uncomfortably far for Canning.
Especially when you think about this, be able to get him to hit the ball in the air that way, you feel good about getting it out, but that ball just kept drifting.
That brings up Luis Robert.
Notorious first ball swinging.
Robert, a Gold Glove winner this year. He has been one of the best outfielders all of baseball defensively. He's the major league leader in defensive runs saved among outfielders. Won a Gold Glove in 2020, the same year that Canning did.
Wow, that good changeup. That's almost the exact same pitch, same spot he threw to Anderson, the changeup.
Gold Glove outfielders in White Sox history, including Hall of Famer Minnie Minoso. Ken Berry won one for the Angels as well. Weak swing there by Robert. He's been fooled a couple of times by Canning so far.
So you got a changeup running down and in, that slider going down and away off the plate, both of them for chases.
Canning trying to shake off a leadoff single, struck out Anderson, got Benintendi to fly out.
Remember, he struck him out on a high fastball first at bat.
Strikes him out this time with the changeup to end the inning. 4th strikeout for Griffin Canning as he works around a leadoff base hit. Tonight we honor our fallen heroes. Memorial Day as the Angels lead the White Sox.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring. Aura.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Join ButcherBox today and get 100% grass-fed ground beef free for a year.
Our Kia player profile as the rookie shortstop Zach Neto leads off. Highest OPS among rookies over the last 2.5 weeks. Neto right up there. Matt McClain just got called up by the Cincinnati Reds over the last week.
He's been very, very impressive. We mentioned a lot about how he solidified the defense up the middle at shortstop. And also now you're seeing a lot of good power going to right field even.
A couple of home runs to right field.
Amazing, he's been hit 10 times.
That's helped him reach base safely in most of his major league appearances. Kopech hit him earlier.
One time Jarrett Walsh got hit by a pitch. He goes, at least my on base percentage goes up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the way you want to do that.
Well, some guys, that is the way they want to do it. Neto, the type of guy that doesn't mind taking one for the team, as it were. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You know, I asked Mark Cannon once what the secret was, and he says the same thing a lot of guys say that get hit a lot. Don't move. If you see it coming, just don't move.
And then, you're always taught is when you play it even to the lowest levels to get out of the way of the ball. Turn, at least turn your back.
Probably the smart move.
Yeah.
Well, there's no I in team, you know.
But there's ouch in getting hit by a pitch.
Neto fouls one off. Who was it that shouted back to no I in team? Well, there's no we or us either.
That was close inside again. Had some run action to it. 4-seamer. He's well off the plate inside.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Kopech has thrown 83 pitches. He's had some 5-inning outings this year. Might not even make it that far tonight the way the pitch count is. Neto strikes out. Kopech really put that in a good spot, and Neto had to swing on 3 and 2. There's another strikeout for Kopech, his 8th. He'll face Mickey Moniak after this quick word from Hyundai.
Own every mile in the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5, 2023 Motor Trend SUV of the year.
Beautiful night. That's a great view.
There's something about a nice, calm Midwest sky as summertime approaches here in Chicago. Mickey Moniak with a fly ball center field. Robert backs up for it. Has some space and retires Moniak. 2 up, 2 down.
Baseball carried pretty well too. That was a 4-seamer well below the strike zone.
And that brings up Mike Trout. Purples and blues and pinks in the sky tonight. A lot of Angels fans here. A lot of fans in general. Always want to see Mike Trout anywhere we go. Same for Shohei.
you're a Chicago baseball fan in general, the Cubs played the Rays earlier today. Marcus Stroman threw a complete game shutout against the Rays, 1-0.
Yeah, makes it easy for a 2-ballpark doubleheader. Not often when the Cubs and White Sox are home at the same time. Usually they're not. Just happens for this series and this week that both teams are home.
I saw a number of Cubs jerseys here today, which tells you they probably went to both. I mean, you get a chance to see Trout and Ohtani in a game after watching a game earlier. There you go.
It's a good baseball day. We'll forgive that guy for his Badger hat. You know, some folks get away and go up to Wisconsin here. Ground ball. Anderson can't reach it. Hard struck base hit for Trout. And that will give Shohei a chance here in the top of the fourth.
Boy, he hit that fastball really well. 94-mile-an-hour fastball downstairs.
But ultimately, being from the area here, I had so many people over the last couple of days mention how they want to come here just to see these two guys play. They're very excited about Trout and Ohtani being here. So a good crowd here at Guaranteed Rate Field reflects that here tonight. The White Sox don't always draw well. They're 11 games under 500. So looking around, and especially in the outfield, pretty full in the bleacher seats. You get the idea and the impression that a lot of this is because Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani are here.
Great baseball fans in general here in Chicago say an opportunity to see these two playing.
It's a good baseball town for sure.
That's a long conversation out there.
Yeah, well, the umpire's just letting it happen too. Home plate umpire John Libka was in no rush. He must have been admiring all the fans here as well.
Building the drama for Shohei Ohtani at the plate. That's what he's doing.
Be afraid to get out there, John, you know. Here's Ohtani hit by a pitch and scored in the first. Angels hit 2 home runs in the first inning, accounting for all 4 of their runs. He's in the neighborhood, but Ohtani got around too late.
Shohei right now just a little bit off of his timing, a little late on some of his swings, but you know at some point that's going to turn around, and watch out if you're a pitcher against him.
Struggling at the plate lately. 1 for 12 in the series against Miami. Has not been driving in many runs over the last week and a half or so.
He's had odd numbers as far as days when he's swinging the bat, when he's not pitching, as far as everything across the board a little bit lower.
Fouls this one off. It becomes like a transformer on the days that he pitches. I mean, it's been unbelievable how well he's struck the ball on the days he pitches, how enormous his hits have been while pitching.
Some action now on the White Sox bullpen.
Ohtani strikes out. Michael Kopech gets through 4 innings with 9 strikeouts, but they gave up 4 in the first.
If sports fans built a streaming service.
Movies and shows, live TV, more local sports. This is your big 3 that crushes cable.
Andy changed the batteries on all 3 smoke detectors.
Create amazing work with Fiverr. All you need is your team and a talented freelancer who will lend a hand and seamlessly join your team from just about anywhere. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
because of Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani, because Liam Hendriks is officially back after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma this spring. He has officially been reinstated. It's been such a cool atmosphere here at the ballpark today. You can see all of the support here in the stands. Phil Nevin said that he went over to make sure he got an opportunity to speak with Liam Hendriks today. The two met that Field of Dreams game in Iowa. Now, Rick Hahn, the GM of the White Sox, was speaking with the media earlier today about the decision they made in spring training to not put him on the 60-day IL. He told him, I'm going to be back before that 60 days. Sure enough, guys, today is 60 days on the nose. March 29th was when they made the move to put him on the IL, and he is back.
Such a great story. I mean, he is such a competitor, and he fought that all the way through to get back that quickly. Amazing story.
Swing and a miss. Eloy Jimenez strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts for Canning. Liam Hendriks got to ring the victory bell. He had his last chemotherapy treatment. Cancer-free as of April 20th. Stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Liam Hendriks attacked it, very gracefully, very graciously even. Yohan Moncada takes ball 1. Hendriks making a mention of, often people will get that sort of news and say, why me? And he said, well, why not me? Why shouldn't it have been me?
The big thing is he feels he can help other people down the road. The same kind of fierce battle to win.
And the White Sox are selling closeout cancer t-shirts here at Guaranteed Rate Field. Moncada waves and misses, and Canning ahead 1 ball 2 strikes. More than $100,000 have been raised by the selling of those t-shirts. Proceeds going to the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
He's really, we talked about those 4 pitch mix. You see the t-shirts selling.
$31, that's the number that Liam Hendriks wears for the White Sox. Number 31. Full count on Yohan Moncada. There's also a Chicago-based t-shirt company called Obvious Shirts, and they have a shirt that Liam's been wearing as well that says "Struck Out Cancer." And 100% of the proceeds from those shirts going to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So Chicago has certainly rallied around Liam Hendriks, the baseball world as well, and everybody thrilled that he's back, and maybe we'll see him tonight. Moncada strikes out. Griffin Canning has struck out 3 in a row. 4 of the last 5 and 6 on the night.
And 4 of those strikeouts in a row have been on his changeup. 3 against the righties here now. The lefty Moncada changeup. Keep in mind, coming in this game, he had 5 total strikeouts, a whiff percentage over 22% with his changeup. He's gotten 5 already tonight. Just like with Shohei the other day, when 2 starts ago, where he had 3 strikeouts with his cutter, he had 2 in his entire career prior to that game.
Here's Andrew Vaughn, who bounced out his first time. Vaughn leads the White Sox in RBIs, former first-round pick out of Cal Berkeley. Got off to a good start this year, but he's been pretty cold in the month of May. Drives this ball to right field, pretty well hit. Renfroe's going to watch it, and that's a home run the other way for Andrew Vaughn. His 36th run batted in. It goes with his 7th homer. The White Sox get a little closer.
It's that power when you go the other way in this ballpark. You'll have great carry that way. Almost like for Yankee hitters, right-handed batters in Yankee Stadium going that way. Same thing here in Chicago. Fell behind, had to go with a fastball. 6th home run allowed by Griffin Canning this season.
The Angels had a 4-0 lead. They have not been able to add to it despite some chances against Michael Kopech. was probably done. Kopech's thrown 93 pitches in 4 innings. And the White Sox have cut that lead in half since the 4-run first. It's 4-2. There's Gregory Santos, another hard thrower, warming up in the White Sox bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sheets.
Imagine now with a 1-2 count, he's going to try to drop that changeup down and away.
It's hit hard but foul. Sheets stays in there with a count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Canning hasn't walked anyone. He has struck out 6. He's given up a couple of runs. A double and a single in the first produced 1, and a 2-out homer here in the 4th inning by Andrew Vaughn. There's Liam Hendricks. Maybe we'll see him make his return to the major league mound here tonight. It's hit well toward the left field corner, but it slices foul.
Another change up there.
Canning's season high of strikeouts is 7. That came against Oakland April 25th. Gavin Sheets continues to make him work here in the 4th inning. Long at bat here for Sheets after the Vaughn homer. Canning struck out the first 2 in the inning. Punched out Jimenez and Moncada. Canning's been pretty efficient so far tonight. He gets a bouncing ball off the bat of Sheets. Nice pick at first by Brandon Drury. And that ends the bottom of the 4th. The Halo lead has been cut to 2.
When it's about to go down,
this is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
You will watch it all together live.
He's done it. 62. How about that?
Big moments.
Oh, baby. 3,000 hits.
Big reactions.
Bobby Witt Jr.'s first big league knock.
And big interviews.
What was the first thing going through your mind?
Join TV's best baseball analysts for a big night of baseball. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered,
with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
Teed right field after the end of the bottom of the 4th. Liam Hendricks making his way down to the White Sox bullpen. Got a huge ovation from the crowd here at Guaranteed Rate Field, and it'll be an even louder one if Hendricks ends up getting into this game. One step closer now that he has made his way to the bullpen.
Yep. Yeah, that's great to see. A standing ovation for the fans here. He made his way to that bullpen.
Aside from what he went through over the last several months, as Hunter Renfroe leads off here in the 5th. He's just a well-respected guy in general anyway around Major League Baseball. He's well-liked. He's someone who is opinionated but doesn't necessarily waver in a way that people don't like what he has to say. It's generally accepted what he has to say.
There's a lot of stuff for charity too, a ton.
And Liam Hendricks, who has been an outstanding closer for the White Sox over the last couple of years. He has really morphed into one of the best relievers in all of baseball. Renfroe strikes out again. Kopech has punched out 10 tonight. He has thrown 98 pitches. And the White Sox going to let him go a little bit further here as Kopech has settled in after a rocky first inning.
Starting to mix in a few more breaking pitches besides his fastball.
It's 29 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. There's Brandon Drury, whose 3-run homer tonight, really standing out at the moment. Angels have not scored since that 4-run first inning. Drury struck out his last time. The next pitch for Kopech will be his 100th. Gregory Santos is ready in the White Sox bullpen whenever he's pointed to.
Imagine if there's anybody on base that will probably be the last batter that he faced, but if he's able to get Drury here, he's going to be able to stay in the game.
Still dialing it up pretty good after his 101st pitch.
We got Drury on a breaking ball, a slider, 2 strikes last time, just like he threw to Hunter Renfroe. He's hoping he's hanging this one so he can drive it.
Line towards center. That's a base hit for Drury. That might be it. We'll keep an eye on the White Sox dugout. Pedro Griffin is the first-year manager of the White Sox, and he's headed out to the pitcher's mound right now.
That was a hanging breaking ball. When you see that as a manager, that's when you're more apt to go down to the bullpen.
So Kopech did a nice job to turn it around after allowing 4 runs in the first. Ended up with 10 strikeouts, but still leaves this game pretty early. 1 out in the 5th. The White Sox have to go to their bullpen.
An 04 champ. Well, hello. A 2013 champ.
This is going to be fun. Let's get it on.
And a host who keeps them both in check.
Players know who you guys are, right?
Intentional Talk on MLB Network.
This game is for you, the fans. You spoke, Major League Baseball listened.
Athleticism is back in baseball.
With the shit, you never saw these plays.
Yeah, free up the players to put on a show.
Batting averages are up this year. Pitch clock has really made a difference.
That line drive that used to be a hit, score it a hit again.
These new rules, absolutely amazing.
They're watching baseball again.
It's the best game in the world.
This game is over.
Now it's even better.
Ever since Johnny was a little boy, there was never any doubt that he wanted to fly. As a captain in the Marine Corps, John took great pride in serving and defending our country. His passion for the Corps and for flying was only surpassed by his love for his family. I will forever be proud of the man he became. My hero, my son, Captain John Sachs.
It's folks like Captain Sachs that we keep in mind on Memorial Day and honor and remember. As Matt Theis leads Gregory Santos' night off here in the top of the 5th inning. Santos in relief of Kopech.
And his fastball, it's a good one too. He's anywhere 95 to 100. He throws about 51% fastballs, but slider at 49, 2-pitch pitcher.
And some good numbers this year for the White Sox. Just let go by the Giants. He pitched in only a handful of major league games for them, and they DFA'd him. But with the White Sox, he's gotten a lot of opportunities, and he's made the most of them. He's only given up 1 home run in his 27 innings.
See that run he has on his fastball, 99. Sinker at 99. Sinker, slider, occasional 4-seam fastball. That's 100 with his run. That's why it's difficult to hit home runs against, because it's going to be down in power sink to it.
Nice for the home run and a single. Kopech had 10 strikeouts, got 1 against 8 of the 9 in the lineup. The only one he couldn't get by was Theis. Fly ball to left field. This one off the end of the batter bin. Benintendi retires Theis. We'll bring up Urshela. White Sox bullpen has been all over the map this year. It started off really badly. It's been better lately. White Sox bullpen has a 2.96 ERA in the month of May. They were horrid in the first month of the year. That ERA was close to 7 in the month of April. So the numbers still don't look great, but it's been a lot different in May than it was in April. So if you judge the book only by its cover, you say, well, this White Sox bullpen's been pretty shoddy, and those numbers show you that, but maybe not so much lately.
You know what, they got some pretty good power arms out of their bullpen though. So you know at some point they're going to get locked back in.
There's Ethan Katz, who certainly has his ties to Southern California, the White Sox pitching coach. Santos throws hard. They have Hendricks back. Joe Kelly throws hard. Garrett Crochet was on the injured list at the beginning of the year. He throws about 1,000.
Yeah, he's definitely over the 100 miles per hour mark.
Well, the Angels had some hard throwers to their bullpen now too.
Yes.
Something that they've really added over the last week, really, with Silseth going back to the bullpen, with Sam Bachman's big league debut, with Ben Joyce waiting for his. All of a sudden, the Angels have 3 or 4 guys that can throw 95 plus. And Estevez included in that as well. Urshela stays alive.
And you look how bullpens are made up now in Major League Baseball. You need a number of those power arms, because when you have base runners on there, a little soft hit flare to the outfield results in a run. But if you have swing and miss guys, well, you keep those guys exactly where they're at on the bases.
Bouncing ball to Tim Anderson. Well, makes some errors every now and then, but a good throw to retire Urshela. That ends the top of the 5th.
See it. He struck him out. It's out of here.
Feel it.
I can't wait for this game to start. He took a home run away.
Live it.
That is as good as it gets. The big plays.
The beauty of sports is when the hero comes through.
Yeah, the tense moments.
We have an update we must show you.
With live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
That might be what it takes to win.
MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
Anderson, and then you got Roberts with that changeup. Man, the best you could do as a hitter is pull that one foul, but swing and miss on that so far tonight for Griffin Canning. His changeup has been excellent. 5 strikeouts with his changeup, 5 total in his first 7 starts. His changeup's been electric.
Romy Gonzalez swings at the first pitch and gives it a ride. Romy Gonzalez has made it a 1-run game. That is his 2nd home run of the year. He has homered in back-to-back games.
Just like that, the White Sox are only down by 1. Some missed opportunities early on. And now, this team, even though they haven't hit a ton of home runs, there's a lot of power in their lineup. And that fastball stayed upstairs. It was a no-doubter. So 2 home runs in back-to-back innings. Might get that bullpen for the Angels moving around a little bit now. Even though the pitch count is good.
Yeah, the pitch count has been good. Only the 5th inning, and Canning's thrown 66 pitches. Romy Gonzalez homered off Eduardo Rodriguez of the Tigers yesterday. Now has taken Griffin Canning deep today. He hasn't really hit at all. Zavala's got a base hit tonight. Yasmani Grandal not in there for the White Sox tonight. Grandal a threat at the plate. Zavala's had some moments where he's hit some home runs. Hits that ball well, but foul. Zavala actually had a 3-homer game a couple of years ago, in which those 3 home runs were the first 3 of his major league career. Swing and a miss. Zavala is another strikeout victim for Canning. He's fanned 7, and there's 1 away. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Celebrate Christmas in June at the Big A. Be one of the first 25,000 fans in attendance on Friday, June 9th against Seattle, and receive an ugly sweater t-shirt courtesy of Bally Sports. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details. Tim Anderson waves and misses on a breaking ball from Canning. Angels scored 4 right away. A couple of home runs back-to-back in the top of the 1st. Now that lead is almost gone, and Canning has pitched fairly well for the most part.
Yep. He attacked the strike zones for a lot of strikes. Well, he struck him out with a changeup last at bat. So far in this sequence, he's thrown a curveball and a slider.
The other way goes Anderson. Diving attempt. Rengifo can't locate it, and Anderson has a base hit. Rengifo still not sure, realizes the ball is right underneath him.
It's a slider. He went with it. He hits that ball. We mentioned earlier, he hits the ball that way a lot when he's got 2 strikes. He hit that ball hard, too, on the ground.
So now meeting at the mound, Theis goes to chat with Canning. That'll bring up Benintendi, who doubled and scored his first time. The Angels' lead has been trimmed to 1. We'll take a quick moment to hear from Jack in the Box.
My Ribeye Steakhouse burgers are made with 100% ribeye beef. Think of them as the CEO of burgers.
This will be a challenge because Tim Anderson is running better. He's got 6 stolen bases, been caught just once. Canning's had a very good move to first.
Drops in a strike to Benintendi, who doubled to right his first time. Came home on a base hit by Eloy Jimenez. White Sox haven't been scoring a lot of runs, haven't been hitting many homers. Tonight they've done some of that. There's a ground ball to second. Rengifo has it, shovels to second 1, Neto to first 2. Double play off the bat of Benintendi, and Canning gets through the 5th. He keeps the lead, although it's down to 1.
This game is for you, the fans. You spoke, Major League Baseball listened.
Athleticism is back in baseball.
With the shift, you never saw these plays.
Yeah, free up the players to put on a show.
Batting averages are up this year.
Pitch clock has really made a difference.
That line drive that used to be a hit, score it a hit again.
These new rules, absolutely amazing.
They're watching baseball again.
It's the best game in the world.
This game is over.
Now it's even better.
See it.
He struck him out. It's out of here.
Feel it.
I can't wait for this game to start. He took a home run away.
Live it.
That is as good as it gets.
The big plays.
The beauty of sports is when the hero comes through.
Yeah, the tense moments.
We have an update we must show you. He's done it again.
With live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
That might be what it takes to win.
MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
We honor our fallen heroes and veterans every year on Memorial Day. Major League Baseball, big part of that on this holiday Monday. Luis Rengifo leading off the top of the 6th inning, although I would like to see every team play on Memorial Day. You know, it's Monday, so a typical day off for most teams on the schedule. Getaway day into an off day. It's pretty common to have a Monday off. But I'd like to see Major League Baseball maybe make sure that this is not the typical Monday off that every team plays. Rengifo with a pop-up as Moncada makes the catch, and Gregory Santos has retired the first 3 that he's faced.
Yeah, that and 4th of July. It's baseball.
It brings up Zach Neto, hit by a pitch. Yeah, 4th of July too. You know, if it's on a Monday or a Thursday, sometimes teams will have it off, and you shouldn't. Major League Baseball needs to own these holidays. They need to be out there for Memorial Day and the 4th of July, Labor Day. Those summer holidays are important. Anderson handles another one that kind of flattened out off the lip of the grass. That happened to Moncada earlier. But Anderson retires Zach Neto. 2 up, 2 down. I mean, baseball is the sport of the summer. This is the unofficial kickoff of summer. That's what Memorial Day represents to most of the country, is that this is summer now starting. Memorial Day's here, and after that it's summertime, and baseball is the sport of the summer, so it needs to be present on Memorial Day and the 4th of July and on Labor Day. Mickey Moniak with a fly ball to left. Easy inning for Gregory Santos.
See it.
He struck him out. It's out of here.
Feel it.
I can't wait for this game to start.
He took a home run away.
Live it.
That is as good as it gets.
The big plays.
The beauty of sports is when the hero comes through.
Yeah, the tense moments.
We have an update we must show you.
With live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
That might be what it takes to win.
MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Baseball and Valley Sports brought to you by Nissan. Explore great deals at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Jack in the Box, try the Ribeye Steakhouse Burger. Now at Jack in the Box. And by Spectrum One. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile for just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com. Along the Chicago River on the way toward the Wrigley Building. Highly recommend the Chicago River Architecture Tour if you ever get a chance. As Luis Robert leads off the bottom of the 6th. New first baseman is Jared Walsh. That takes Rengifo out of the game. As Brandon Drury slides over to second base. Robert swings and misses. I don't know if that's just for defensive purposes. So it's still pretty early in the game to make a defensive change, or what the reason was for Phil Nevin to make that move now. But Walsh goes in and Rengifo comes out.
Yeah, I think that's more defensive because Rengifo just batted that last half inning. Another good changeup for Canning against Robert. Struck him out on a fastball so far and a changeup.
That's in there. Strike 3 called. Robert bending at the knees. He has struck out 3 times tonight. And Griffin Canning adds another, a new season high in strikeouts. He's fanned 8.
And he struck him out with 3 different pitches: fastball, changeup, and now slider. He's got him guessing up there and guessing wrong.
1 out. That brings up Eloy Jimenez. It's gotten to be a close game here. The Angels had 4 in the first. You can't just ride that all night, though. The Angels have not added to the lead. The White Sox have chipped away. It's close as it gets late here in Chicago tonight. Bouncer to short. Neto handles a high hop. Shows off the strong arm as he retires Eloy Jimenez. Chris Davinsky has turned into a valuable member of the Angels bullpen. He's warming up right now.
Hey, what? It's fun to watch that arm. Not only Chris Davinsky, but Zach Neto's throws across the diamond. Wow.
Wasn't sure who you were talking about for a second.
I like both the fastballs, both Davinsky and Neto.
Here's Yohan Moncada. Neto helped turn that double play in the 5th inning off the bat of Benintendi when Hifo didn't have a lot on the long shovel pass that he made, but Neto made up for it when he zoomed the throw to first to retire Benintendi. 2 balls, no strikes on Moncada. Moncada traded from the Red Sox to the White Sox with Michael Kopech back when the White Sox were rebuilding, and dumped Chris Sale, which seemed almost impossible at the time. Sale was just becoming one of the best pitchers in baseball, just becoming a perennial Cy Young candidate, and the White Sox moved him to Boston to get Moncada and Kopech, really thinking more about the future. Later they would trade Jose Quintana to the Cubs. That was about 6 months after the Sale trade. Quintana and Sale were kind of a 1-2 punch in the White Sox rotation, and then that trade, the one to the Cubs, got them Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease.
Pretty good deals there for the White Sox. Came right back with a changeup. By the way, this is closing up what you said about Neto turning a double play. He's turned he's involved in 23 double plays already. That's how good that arm is. Timeout by Moncada on that one.
Moncada doesn't chase, and it's 3-2. Moncada has struck out in both of his plate appearances tonight. Between Robert and Moncada, that's where 5 of the 8 strikeouts have come for Canning. It's a new season high for him. His career high is 10. Moncada gets a piece to stay alive.
That's another good changeup. Barely fouled that one off.
Canning at 86 pitches, trying to get through 6 innings. Andrew Vaughn, who homered against Canning earlier, on deck. Davinsky ready in the pen, so that might be the end for Canning if Moncada reaches here.
Yeah, so you think your best pitch of the night for Griffin Canning here.
On 3-2, Moncada swings and misses, strike 3. The 9th strikeout for Canning. He has punched out Moncada 3 times, and he ends a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th. Join USAA in honoring our nation's fallen heroes.
When it's about to go down,
this is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
You will watch it all together live.
He's done it, 62! How about that?
Big moments.
Oh, baby, 3,000 hits.
Big reactions.
Bobby Witt Jr.'s first big league knock.
And big interviews.
What was the first thing going through your mind?
Join TV's best baseball analysts for a big night of baseball. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight. When it's about to go down,
this is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
62! How about that?
Big moments, big reactions, and big interviews. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight.
Baseball pauses to remember those brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice and service to our country. Go to MLBtogether.com to learn more about how you can support military families grieving the loss of a loved one. New pitcher out there for the White Sox. Former Angel Keenan Middleton delivers a strike to his former teammate Mike Trout.
At one point, he was rushing a fastball up upper 90s. Really good changeup too. That's that changeup.
Middleton has found some new life with the White Sox. 24 strikeouts in 18 innings. He's only given up 1 home run. His numbers the last few seasons weren't all that impressive, but he has been so far this year. There's Ben Joyce. Oh, what a moment this would be to make his big league debut. 1-run game in the 7th inning on the road. That's a whole lot of confidence. Davinsky had been up.
Davinsky's been so good as far as coming into games with traffic on bases. He's been outstanding, especially, you know, he left all 9 inherited runners on base.
Trout strikes out, second time tonight. As Middleton fans his former teammate and the first batter he faces in this one.
Got him to go after a slider there. Give him a few changeups in that sequence.
Middleton has not allowed a run in 11 straight innings.
You knew he was going to throw that first pitch changeup to Shohei, who had struggled with all-speed pitches, especially early in counts.
Well, lefties especially have done nothing against Middleton so far this year. Middleton had Tommy John surgery back when he was with the Angels. He was starting to be an effective reliever. Was pretty decent his rookie year there, and then a nice job to begin the 2018 season. Tommy John surgery wiped him out for a while. Ohtani gets just a piece to stay alive.
Still just out in front a little too much on the changeup. He homered on a changeup in Baltimore.
Shohei strikes out. Well, Middleton racking up Ks against Trout and Ohtani. The Angels hope to see the same from Ben Joyce in his major league debut. And for more on him, here's Erica.
Guys, Phil Evans said we would probably see Ben Joyce come into this ball game tonight. They really just wanted to get him in there, get the nerves out of the way, get the first one under his belt. It doesn't take too much stock in the first outing from guys like Sam Bachman, too. They just want him to come in, get comfortable, and then they'll start moving on to what roles they're going to see for the new guys down in the bullpen after their debuts.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Ben Joyce. I saw him enough in spring training to think, wow, this kid's special.
Yeah, 1-run game in the 7th, maybe. Let's see what you got, I guess. You know, ultimately, if Joyce does work out, he's going to be a late inning guy. He's going to be trying to hold leads late in games. It's why the Angels drafted him to begin with that big arm. So we could see Ben Joyce in the bottom of the 7th. Right now, it's Hunter Renfroe. And the Angels are nowhere near Keenan Middleton right now.
That was just a waste pitch, though. Fastball up to try to either get him to chase his slider or changeup now. Renfro's trying to get one where he can get up in that air to right center. You know how well the baseball carries that way.
Just missed there. We saw some low strikes getting called earlier. Hunter Renfroe draws a walk. Middleton loses Renfroe. It gives the Angels a base runner as Brandon Drury will bat. It's been a good night for Drury. A 3-run homer and a base hit. Aside from that, there's 4 runs in the first. Couple of quick shots. Drury and Theis back to back, and the Angels haven't scored since.
When he jumped on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball by Kopech in the first inning, as did Matt Theis on deck. It's our Arco top tier plays a 3-run shot. Brandon Drury and then the solo shot left center for Matt Theis. So both Drury and Theis solid games, not only with home runs in the first but also throughout the game.
Middleton ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Angels trying to tack on, something they have not been able to do yet tonight after that quick start. Griffin Canning turned in a quality outing, a quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs, right at the labels of the definition of what a quality start is. 9 strikeouts too. And there's a strikeout of Drury. Middleton fans 3 in the inning. Keenan Middleton trying to rev up a big crowd here at Guaranteed Rate Field tonight. Despite a slow start to the season, the White Sox certainly not out of an American League Central that no one has pulled away in. It's Memorial Day, and we will have God Bless America.
This performance is part of our country and our men and women stationed overseas. On this Memorial Day, please welcome Specialist Rory Fritz of the United States Army for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential, and what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car, then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid. Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
coverage cam, and we are about to see the major league debut of the fireballing Ben Joyce.
He's worked on his cutter, throwing a slider, so different speeds on the two type of breaking balls, but he can rush that fastball. We saw in spring training, 104-mile-an-hour fastball. Been settling in about 99 to 101 so far in the minor leagues.
His first pitch in the big leagues is a strike.
At 102.
102 miles an hour on the first pitch thrown in the major leagues by Ben Joyce. And he paints that one on the outside corner at 100. Andrew Vaughn hits an 0-2 breaking ball into left center field for a base hit. Vaughn is on it after two paint 100+ mile-an-hour fastballs. Joyce goes to an 0-2 slider.
Right there, enough where it's going to be cutting out over the plate to give him a chance to get the barrel on it.
And from a game calling standpoint, Vaughn took two fastballs at 100+. Why not try to see if he'll even offer at a third one?
The bottom line is if you're not seeing, you're dealing with that type of velocity, you want to stay with that pitch because you don't want to speed up his bat.
Gavin Sheets takes ball one. That fastball is lighting up the radar gun here early on. 101 miles an hour for Joyce. All three of his fastballs have ticked up into triple digits. At the University of Tennessee, they called him the volunteer fireman.
And another fastball at 100. So he's throwing 4 fastballs at 100+ already.
All 3 pitches in this at bat have been over 100. 101.8 on the first pitch to Gavin Sheets. Swing and a miss. There's the first big league strikeout for Joyce. It comes on 102 miles an hour to blow away Gavin Sheets.
After a couple fastballs at 100, 101, down, goes upstairs at 102. Wow. I mean, that sound and how quick that is on you.
Patrick Sandoval ends up with the baseball, and then it goes to Guy. Liam Hendricks is warming up in the White Sox bullpen, so the relievers taking center stage late in this one. And right now it's Ben Joyce's mound. He pitches in the big leagues for the first time. Romy Gonzalez should have home run his last time. It's an unbelievable vote of confidence here from Phil Nevin to give this kid the ball in this spot in his big league debut. But Ben Joyce's fastball is living up to the moment so far.
It's got life on it. It's got spin. That's the thing. It's impressive too. The spin rate on his fastballs. Not only it's firm, but it's got some late action to it.
He's ahead of Gonzalez with it 1 ball 2 strikes. The hit he allowed came on a slider. It's been all fastballs ever since. And there's strike 3. Blown by upstairs. Romy Gonzalez swings through it.
Well, if he can master that fastball down and then when he's with 2 strikes and run that fastball upstairs. Wow. I mean, that sound.
The White Sox are going to go to the bench here. Yasmani Grandal, powerful hitting catcher, will be the pinch hitter for Sebi Zavala. Matt Wise is going to run to the mound to make sure that Ben Joyce knows the game plan. I mean, what could the game plan be? Throw 100.
Yes.
Here's a quick word from Kia.
The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Here There's Grandal pinch hitting for Zavala. Tim Anderson on deck. Back-to-back strikeouts from Joyce. Grandal swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Shallow left field. Mickey Moniak is there, and he makes the catch as Ben Joyce brings the electricity here to Chicago. He walks off after a successful major league debut, and as he leaves the mound, well, the electricity is going to get turned up even more here at Guaranteed Rate Field as Liam Hendriks is about to make his long-awaited return after battling stage 4 cancer. And listen to this place when Hendriks steps out of the bullpen.
Number 31, Liam Hendriks.
Goosebumps.
Yes. Wow. Just taking it all in. What a moment this is for Liam, cancer survivors, baseball fans.
Liam Hendriks is back. He struck out cancer, and he has returned to a major league mound to face the Angels on Memorial Day. Hendriks, a 3-time All-Star. He was the reliever of the year in the major leagues the last couple of years. As The Athletic describes him, wildly entertaining, wonderfully profane. The Liam Hendriks experience is back at Guaranteed Rate Field and back in the big leagues. And after what he went through, his adrenaline must be pumping even harder than a Ben Joyce fastball right now.
Yeah, definitely. When you talk about a fastball, he can run it up there too. He's averaged, you know, when you go back to last year, 97.6 miles per hour with a slider and a curveball. But you can imagine this fastball is going to be pretty firm the first one.
Well, they're thrilled, and we are thrilled to see Liam Hendriks back on the mound. And listen to this. His first pitch after striking out cancer is a strike. Matt Thaiss leads off here in the 8th. He homered earlier against Kopech.
Well, you can imagine what's going through his mind right now. Just the battle he's been through, and now back on the mound.
Nice holding up his swing as it goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. The fans all on their feet. Not only were the White Sox fans giving Liam Hendriks a standing ovation, the Angels dugout was, this booth was, and anybody that is able to stand up here at Guaranteed Rate Field did so when Liam Hendriks was on the mound, taking it all in. Matt Thaiss sends one to right center, and Robert plays that on a hop. Base hit for Thaiss, his 3rd tonight.
That was an impressive swing for Theis. That was an elevated fastball. He brought his hands up. Remember, he homered on a low fastball against Kopech, and this time a high fastball at 95. Showed that the Angels, they hit high velocity fastballs, 90, 95 plus, coming in at 257 batting average as a team.
And considering the possibilities, I'm sure Liam Hendriks, all things considered, is pleased to hear the crack of the bat again.
Some room on that right side, and that's exactly where Gio Urshela was trying to punch the first pitch.
Grandal staying in the game to catch. See where the White Sox infield is set up. Runner going, swing and a miss by Urshela, and the throw from Grandal pulled Gonzalez away. He tried to swipe at Theis, but Theis able to get around, and that's a stolen base, putting an important man in scoring position for the Angels.
Yeah, you got a hit and run on. You're hoping for some contact. You see, anytime you see a runner looking in, you're expecting something hit on the ground. Picks up a stolen base, though, his first of the season. 26th as a team for the Angels.
It's his second career stolen base. Urshela taps one to the right side. Sheets thought about throwing a third. Feeds Hendriks instead, who gets his first out.
That's a very, very good productive out by Urshela. He was trying to hit the ball that way. Sheets thought about it. Now it's forcing the infield in. This is a nice at bat. Exactly what you want. That's those productive outs you need to get those add-on runs.
One out. Here's Jared Walsh. Angels will face the infield in here as they try to add to the lead. Strike two on the inside corner to Jared Walsh. Liam Hendriks underwent chemotherapy on his way back to the big leagues.
That was real close. Second to gone either way.
John Lipka thought about it. Certainly would have played well to the crowd.
He's providing the power to Walsh. All he's got to do is try to get some kind of contact made. That could have easily been called a strike.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Walsh, batting for the first time tonight. Now 2-2. Angels have led all night. They scored 4 in the first.
That is a big run out there. Trying to make some contact here.
A single, a steal, a ground out. It's put Theis at third with 1 away, and Jared Walsh trying to add to the Halo lead. The count is full. When Hendriks underwent chemotherapy, he didn't lose his hair, but a lot of people do. And oftentimes insurance doesn't cover the cost of a wig, which people like to wear when they lose their hair. But Liam and his wife spent $24,000 and asked the Mayo Clinic to distribute wigs to anyone for whom the cost would be prohibitive to. It's the kind of guy Liam Hendriks is. That's why this hand is so large. The Angels are trying to spoil the return, if it can even be spoiled to any degree, as Jared Walsh draws a walk. The Angels have runners on the corners.
That was a real good at bat by Walsh. Didn't chase. Liam Hendriks was trying to get him to chase a couple of those sliders down, and then that high fastball. You know Zach Neto loves the first pitch. And he's pretty good on fastballs upstairs.
Neto tonight 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. And a good swing at that first one from Liam Hendricks. Angels bullpen is up. Liam Hendricks is the story here tonight, but Ben Joyce's big league debut won't go unnoticed. That was some serious gas we saw in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that was fun to see. Wow, 102. And put in a situation you're protecting a 1-run lead.
Davinsky will face the top of the order in the bottom of the 8th. Anderson, Benintendi, and Robert. Probably the best breaking ball we've seen from Hendricks since entering.
Contact needed here for Neto. Now he'll shorten up. Won't have the high leg kick. Imagine Hendricks going to try to run a fastball above the belt, maybe even above the strike zone.
Middle infield at double play depth. Neto has good speed. Moncada's even with the bag at third. Most of those sliders have been yanked.
Grandal's done a real nice job behind the plate, coming in at the pinch hit and then coming in here in the 8th inning defensive. He's had to stop a number of hard breaking balls in the dirt.
Doing so now with the man on third. That's Theis. Walsh at first. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zach Neto. There's ball 3.
That is an incredible take. That is an amazing take. That's about a half a baseball, maybe a full baseball, just barely off the outside corner as a young hitter.
Mickey Moniak on deck. It's 3-2 now on Neto. Walsh is running. Neto fouls one off.
It's a lot of trust in a young hitter that he's going to make contact or have an idea of the strike zone.
The White Sox middle infielders are close to the bag. Gonzalez closer than Anderson. And they're both about even with the bag. Making it over quickly if they need to. Walsh likely will take off again here. On 3-2, Zach Neto. It's a pop-up to right. Moving back for Jimenez. Moving toward the line. He makes the catch. Theis will tag and score. Zach Neto, a good at bat in a big spot, adds to the Angels lead. It's 5-3.
You got to like everything about that at bat for Zach Neto. Not only did not chase at any point during that sequence, but got a pitch he can hit in the air and gets the job done. Those big add-on runs, and what a game for Matt Theis. 3 hits, 3rd time in the month of May he's had a 3-hit game. That's a huge add-on run.
We've talked so much about the good ball player Zach Neto is. Mickey Moniak dumping one toward the left field line. Long run for everybody. That's a base hit. On his way to third as Walsh will stay there as Benintendi gets it in. Moniak drops a double and 2 more in scoring position with Mike Trout coming up.
That's the kind of hit you need if you're Moniak. And lately it's been a little bit of a struggle for him. That little flare. You talk about a perfect sand wedge. And a double put 2 in scoring position for Trout.
Ethan Katz, the White Sox pitching coach, heads to the mound. Now the Sox have a decision here because there is a lefty up in the bullpen. I think it's Bummer that's warming up.
He's another one that throws very hard himself.
You don't have to pitch to Trout. You have Ohtani on deck you could go lefty-lefty with. You know, for Hendricks, an emotional return. He's thrown 22 pitches. Bummer's getting ready.
And you can tell he's overthrown a couple of his sliders at some point, especially when you're facing a hitter like Trout. You're really going to muscle up on sliders. So a pitch in the dirt could result in another run.
You could walk Trout and let Bummer face Ohtani. That's on the table here. We'll see what the White Sox decide with Liam Hendricks facing Mike Trout. Trout hits it, and Anderson can't reach it. It's off his glove. A run scores. Moniak comes in. Mike Trout gets an RBI base hit. A leaping try from Anderson. He was just short of it, and the Angels lead 6-3.
Well, that'll feel good for Trout. A base hit with a runner in scoring position. He ran that fastball in off the plate. Trout just enough of the barrel to get it above the leap. Tim Anderson.
Well, the White Sox are going to let Hendricks face Ohtani. 2 runs, 3 hits in the inning. Ohtani very late on that fastball. He has struck out a couple of times tonight. This is a results-oriented business. Ultimately, the wins and losses matter. But as Liam Hendricks has allowed a couple of insurance runs here, I don't think it spoils anything. It certainly doesn't sour any sort of moment that Liam Hendricks has beaten what he has gone through and has gotten back to where he is at here tonight.
And his stuff has been really, really good. You know, the adrenaline on there. You're overthrowing some pitches. It's an amazing moment for him.
As Ohtani bounces one to Tim Anderson, this ballpark gets to salute Liam Hendricks one more time, and deservedly so. He struck out cancer, and he's back in the big leagues. We salute Liam Hendricks.
Should Viagra really cost $90? We don't think so. RexMD.com has FDA-approved generic Viagra at 90% off. Just fill out a brief survey. If appropriate, you can try generic Viagra for 90% off. Go to RexMD.com to get started right now.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want on the only live TV streaming service rated #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Try free at FuboTV.com.
ED is difficult for me and for my partner. Through HIMS, I can message a licensed provider about clinically proven ED treatments. Like the generic form of Viagra, which can cost 90% less than the brand name version. Then HIMS ships discreetly to my door for free. I never knew it could be this easy to get my confidence back. Now we can both count on a great experience every time. Start your free visit today at forhims.com.
Player of the game, Ben Joyce's big league debut couldn't have really gone much better.
I mean, you think about it, you're coming into a game in a high leverage situation. You're protecting a 1-run lead, 102 first strikeout. Incredible to see that.
Tim Anderson leads off the bottom of the 8th against Chris Davinsky, now with a 3-run lead. Hit hard, but right to Neto. A bit of a leap to handle that one off the bat of Tim Anderson. One away.
Always important first out, especially with a hitter like Tim Anderson, what he can do. Swinging the bat. Another hit, hard hit ball by Anderson. Wow, just going back to Ben Joyce. That was incredible. Just making sure he's loose. Neto, he had a great at bat on a sac fly. Everyone's excited. It's electric in here with Liam Hendricks, what he did, coming back. What's it, Ben Joyce throwing 102? And Davinsky in there, getting that first out. A whip of 0.57.
The moment looked too big for Ben Joyce.
I couldn't breathe for him, and yet he was out there calm as can be.
I mean, so much for getting him into a comfortable spot.
Yes.
1-run lead in the 7th. He holds it. The Angels tack on in the 8th, and now they're in a good position here. Still need to get 5 more outs to roll this one in and stop a 3-game losing streak.
The first pitch you throw in the major leagues is 102, and you paint it on the outside corner.
It was pretty impressive. The whole inning, the fastball was really the only pitch he needed. Yes. He gave up the hit on the slider. He didn't really even throw it again. It was just all electricity after that.
Boy, his changeup is so good. Speaking of electricity, his changeup is electric. Chris Davinsky.
It's Benintendi to bounce out. Angels live postgame. OC Navigator brings that to you after this one is over. As the Angels have rolled out the volunteer fireman, Ben Joyce. With a couple of first inning homers on top of it, the Angels have the lead. We saw tonight some hard throwing pitchers. We saw Canning, who could throw 95 to 97. We saw Kopech, who can get it up there. Gregory Santos, who can touch 100. But Ben Joyce has thrown the 11 fastest pitches of this game.
Unreal.
His hardest was 102.2. That was the one to Grandal to get the last out.
We went back to our opening day. Talk about that middle part of the lineup with power. You got a 3-run home run by Brandon Drury, and the youngsters. Big sac fly by Zach Neto, and that power arm by Ben Joyce. And then a little double for Moniak too.
Nice stop by Neto. He plants. He fires in time to get Luis Robert.
What about the youngsters? Wow. What a play. Range and throw. That is a rocket in the outfield grass. Plants and throws at a fast runner at first. Wow.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
The hot dog at the game beat roast beef at the Ritz.
Touche. What's that on that beat? I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
Be one of the first 25,000 fans at the Christmas in June themed game Saturday, June 10th against the Mariners, and take home a pair of Angels Christmas slippers courtesy of Bally Sports West. Visit angels.com/promotions. The pitcher for the White Sox is Aaron Bummer.
Well, this game has had a little bit of everything in there. Wow, what a game this has been. The emotion for Liam Hendricks coming in to be able to battle back and pitch tonight. Ben Joyce doing what he did. Zach Neto, how about that play to finish off the inning? Wow, that was a rocket. That was 108-mile-an-hour exit velocity on that bat by Luis Robert. and he makes the play in the outfield grass and throws all the way across the diamond.
It's probably the third or fourth best thing he's done tonight. He had that great at bat against Hendricks.
Yep.
The sacrifice fly to drive in a run. Zach Neto is just a gamer every day. He does something that helps the team win. They don't always win, but he's doing something to help them get there.
And he makes it another hit by pitch too, just for fun.
Ben Joyce, when he had his strikeout of Gavin Sheets on a 101.8-mile-an-hour pitch, the fastest pitch on a strikeout by an Angels pitcher since StatCast started tracking them. 2015 is when that started. There's strike three called as Renfroe strikes out for the third time tonight.
And Bummer's got a good fastball himself. I mean, he can rush it up there. He can get up there 98 miles an hour. He's 93, 98. He'll have a cutter, slider changeup. That was at 95. So you want to be a hitter nowadays, huh? Wow.
There's Brandon Drury. He's hit well tonight. 3-run homer and a single as well. And so much for the legacy teams in the NBA and the NHL. The finals are set in both leagues. Denver is going to play Miami.
Wow. So Boston lost at a game 7, just like the Bruins lost a game 7 at home. Wow, that's a tough one.
Celtics lost by like 20. And, the NHL, the Golden Knights are going to play the Florida Panthers.
Our very own Matt Birch is going to be happy about that.
So that'll be that. For all the folks who say we don't want to see the same teams, well, there you go.
There it is. That's what it's all about as a fan. You're going to be pretty happy if you're down in Miami right now with the Panthers and the Heat. The championship round.
Yeah. I just care about the Canes, though. The Dolphins, maybe.
Yeah.
Full count on Drury. We saw a pretty special moment here tonight. Liam Hendricks back on a big league mound. And this place really gave him all the credit that he deserved.
How about all the Angels players on the top step giving a standing O, clapping for Liam Hendricks. They battled him a lot over the years.
The Angels have had a lot of success against the White Sox over the years, especially here at Guaranteed Rate Field, where the White Sox have not won a series against the Halos in 6 years.
Good as that to see Trout smiling. Couple hits tonight, including a base hit with an RBI.
It's worth noting too, I think. There's still 3 more outs to get. Last season got away due to a long losing streak around this time of the year. And you don't want to have that start piling up again after a sweep over the weekend. The Marlins won 3 straight. You just nip it now. So there's no long losing streak to think about.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that conversation either.
Phil Nevin's team has bounced back nicely through 8 innings tonight.
Another really good at bat for Brandon Drury. He's had a big game. Couple hits, 3-run home run. And with Matt Theis coming to the plate, let's go back to Hyundai Key for the game tonight. Blue collar man. He has been a blue collar man. A solo shot in the first. Another base hit. How about a base hit, a stolen base, and a run scored for Theis baby.
Bummer's had reverse splits. Lefties have hit him hard. 348. The opponent's average against Bummer from the left side. Well, not a great name for a pitcher. Bummer.
No, it's not.
I think we can all agree.
I'm always just glad my last name wasn't Walk, like Bob Walk, former Major League pitcher, now color analyst for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
Came up with the Phillies. They won. He was on that team, won the World Series back in '80.
Bummer strikes out Theis, who ends up 3 for 5 to this point. That'll bring up Urshela.
Nice at bat too last time by Gio Urshela. Remember, just hit that ground ball to the right side to advance Theis to third base. Theis eventually scored. Sac fly. It's one of those things, sometimes it goes unnoticed because it's an out, but it was a very good, productive out. By the way, excellent outing again by Griffin Canning. Back-to-back, really, really good outings. No walks with 9 strikeouts for Griffin Canning. His changeup was great. As was his slider again.
Teams often win when you get a quality start. You know, the Angel starters have been pretty good lately. Overlooked as a group.
Yeah, they've been great over their last 7 games.
1.76 ERA over the last 7 entering tonight, and Canning right along with how it's been lately. 9 strikeouts were 1 short of a career high, and there's a strikeout as Bummer fans 3 in the inning. The Angels have struck out 16 times tonight, but they have the lead. It is 6-3.
When it's about to go down,
This is the story of the night.
MLB Tonight takes you there.
You will watch it all together live.
He's done it. 62. How about that?
Big moments.
Oh, baby. 3,000 hits.
Big reactions.
Bobby Witt Jr.'s first big league knock.
And big interviews.
What was the first thing going through your mind?
Join TV's best baseball analysts for a big night of baseball. Every night, only on MLB Network's MLB Tonight. The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
Hyundai, it's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai. By OC Healthcare Agency, build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by your local Southern California Cadillac dealers. Angels have the lead entering the bottom of the 9th inning. Now it's up to Carlos Estevez to hold it. Estevez has done that every single time he's been asked to so far this year. 12 for 12. Last Angels reliever to start a year 13 out of 13 in save tries. Have to go all the way back to 2001. Troy Percival started that year 16 for 16.
Yeah, he was dominant. How about his son, Cole Percival? First time out, dominant. High A ball.
Runs in the family.
Yes.
Eloy Jimenez leads off the bottom of the 9th. Jimenez back on the big league roster after he missed some time because of an appendectomy. There's a Alvarez has pulled the White Sox closer with a home run.
Going back-to-back sliders. This time the slider was upstairs. Anytime you get an extra velocity like that at 106 miles per hour plus a launch angle of 30 plus a 34, it's going to result in a long home run, and that's exactly what happened.
The second homer allowed by Estevez. Juan Moncada swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Brandon Drury. One away.
Back to the fastball to get that out. His fastball has been really, really good too. It's been 97, 98 consistently.
Andrew Vaughn homered earlier. The White Sox have stayed around thanks to 3 solo home runs tonight. There's a pop-up, shallow right toward the line, long run, Renfroe moving, and he won't reach it. Jumps into the netting. He's able to get right out of there quickly as Vaughn fouls that one off.
A little scary when you jump into that netting like that because it's going to go with the body and then turn you around like it did. Good effort though by Hunter Renfroe.
That one over Vaughn's head. 2 balls and a strike with Sheets on deck. Swing and a miss. High fastball at 97.
Well, you almost think you got to go right back with another fastball there and elevate it.
That's a good pitch. It's a hard pitch. It's 5 miles an hour slower than the ones Ben Joyce was throwing earlier. It's crazy.
That's not right.
It's 2-2 on Vaughn. And it hit him. He thinks it hit him. The home plate umpire's giving him the benefit of the doubt right now. He's pointing to first base.
I'm going to check this to make sure that didn't get part of the bat. I don't think so, though.
Well, the tying run will come to the plate. And the Angels are not going to review it. It hit him pretty high on the hand.
Get a better view right here. You're going to see it right on the hand right there, the knuckles.
That brings up Sheets 0 for 3. Estevez pumps in a strike at 98. Sheets and then Romy Gonzalez due up next, but Jake Berger, who has emerged this year for the White Sox, is on deck. Angels trying to hang on and snap a 3-game losing streak. 2 balls and a strike on Sheets. Good cut, but a foul ball, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, that one at 96, more hittable zone for Sheets. Looking for that ride and late action on his fastball to get a punch out now.
On 2-2, Sheets takes ball 3. Estevez overthrew that one.
Went back to a slider on it. A tough time feel for his slider. He threw one over the head of Vaughn. And then that one there.
3-2. Ball 4. And now some trouble brewing. A hit by pitch, a walk. Tying runs are on base, and Jake Berger will bat for Gonzalez as Matt Wise makes his way to the mound. Estevez has been so good. Really an unstoppable force in the Angels bullpen as the White Sox send in a pinch runner to take the place of Sheets. Clint Frazier is going to run at first base and represent the tying run there.
Berger's rolled into 2 double plays this season. 40 punch-outs and 120 at-bats.
Swinging a foul at home plate. White Sox have largely been pretty good with runners in scoring position this year, especially lately. Hitting .264 as a team, that's 9th in the majors. We've got Vaughn at second, Frazier at first. Frazier faster than Sheets, doesn't have great speed. The batter is Berger. High pop-up, infield fly rule. There's 2 outs. Neto makes the catch. And a big out for Estevez.
Just got him out just enough in front on a slider, but that's not exactly where you want to throw that slider. See how frustrated he is on that one. That's one of those scary pitches you throw and you hope that they pop it up, and that's exactly what he did.
Still one more out against a real tough hitter, Yasmani Grandal. Signed a big free agent contract with the White Sox a couple of years ago.
That's a good pitch.
Looked like a strike. Grandal has power. He's hit more than 20 homers in a season 5 times.
That's all over the lower part of the strike zone.
Hit hard. Neto with a diving stop. Throws it toward first. It is in time. Another incredible play. Say goodnight to the White Sox. The Angels win, and Zach Neto does it all.
Boy, Neto, magnificent. What a play that was. He's looking to maybe third. No, but still the arm shred to go all the way across the diamond. No panic. Another great play by Zach Neto. The kid is unreal. The kids are all right. That is a rocket. Another play into the outfield grass. Looking to third. Gets up. Strong throw. Gets the last out. Halos win the game.
After all that, Grandal was still out by about 3 steps.
What a play. Never panics. He had that great sac fly. Wow, what a job. Wow. Oh, that's unbelievable. How do you do that as a young player? You were in college about a year ago. Unreal.
Just a sensational play by Zach Neto ends the ball game here in Chicago tonight. This was a fun game.
That had everything in their emotions all over the place.
Griffin Canning gets a well-earned victory, and really so do the Angels. They needed one after a tough weekend against Miami, and the Angels pulled off a 6-4 win against the White Sox tonight. Well, Matt Dice had a pretty good view of all the wild things that happened tonight, including his own home run in the first inning, part of a 3-hit game for Theis. And he's standing by right now with Erica Weston.
Wayne, thanks very much. Matt, first I have to ask you about the play to end the game. Man, Zach Neto has shown some poise in this one tonight.
I think in an interview the other day I called him the kid to you, and I'm going to do it again. The kid's unbelievable. You know, I made the joke the other day to one of our bench coaches. I said, I can't believe how good he is defensively. I knew he could hit, but just what he's doing at shortstop right now for us, the plays he made today, the play he just made to end that game, there's only a few shortstops that can make that play. That was awesome.
We're glad to have him on our side. Let's talk a little offense, though. Your third 3-hit game of the season, your third in the month of May. How good did it feel to be able to put some runs on the board after the shutout yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. Drew came up huge in that first inning. I followed him up, and you know, it was nice to get the offense going a little bit early. And again, the kid in the what was that, the 7th or 8th inning? You know, that at bat, that sac fly is so huge. You know, I don't know if it gets overlooked, but that was such a great at bat.
It was an amazing at bat. Have to ask you about the electric moment with Ben Joyce making his debut. 102 in his first career strikeout. What's it like being on the other side of that?
It's very hard. It's firm. And not to mention it's 102, but feels like he's about 7'8" out there. And when he strides and releases, I feel like I could touch him. So it was great to see. You could see there was barely any nerves on his face. You know, he was pounding the zone. He was cool, calm, collected.
Great stuff tonight, Matt. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks, Erica.
All right, guys.
All right, Erica, thank you very much. Wow. The Angels had to work for this one.
What a game, though. The energy was unreal throughout.
They beat the White Sox 6-4 to start this 3-game series. For Mark Ubens and Erica Weston, our entire crew, I'm Wayne Randazzo. We say good night from Chicago. Angels Live postgame show coming up next. The kids are all right indeed, and they help the Halos get a 6-4 win.